As I'm sure Brother Lester has welcomed you to the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. We have just a few basic rules that I would like to discuss with you before we start the tour. Number one, this is literally a Black People's Research and Topographical Center. By topography, we simply mean the study of Black people's condition by using maps, charts, graphs, periodicals, as Brother Lester mentioned to you. Topography deals with the study of land. So here at the Topographical Research Center, we study land and its relationship to Black people and Black people's relationship to that land. We say it is literally a Black People's Research and Topographical Center. What do we mean? We mean that white boyfriends, white girlfriends, white friends, white relatives, they're not welcome at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. You have to leave them at home. You have to leave them in the car out in the parking lot. Or we even admit them into our reception area or our lobby. They're free to come in and browse in that section, and we have refreshments for them. And we treat them with the utmost courtesy here. But they cannot come into this section and take the tour at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. Only Black people who are of African origin and African descent can come in and take the tour here at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. If we didn't have so much competition today with the World Basketball Championship going on, probably is in many cases we have brothers and sisters, in many instances all the way down, filling up the chairs. So this is too small a place for the third world to be accommodated now, and certainly no room for white folks. Chinese are not welcome. Japanese are not welcome. The boat people, Vietnamese, they're not welcome. We only invite the real boat people who have forgotten what boat they came on. They think they came on the Nina, the Pinta, or the Santa Maria, or the Mayflower, but got their boats mixed up. Actually, they came over in the holds of slave boats or slave ships, Black people. Now, at this point, even Mexicans or Chicanos are not welcome at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. The Indian is not welcome at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center. However, as we develop as a people in this country and develop more strength within our inner circle, then of course there will be alliances that will be meaningful and positive that can be set up with the brown man, the red man, the yellow man. And you notice I didn't mention an alliance with the white man. One other rule. You may have noticed a sign upon coming in that said, warning, we must respect each other. That sign too is to be taken literally. It means exactly what it said. It means warning, and it means that we must respect each other. Not if we get around to it, not if while you're here it would be nice if you respected each other. At any point, the brother who is before you is called a command. There will be a different command possibly in each section if you stay for the entire tour. And probably other brothers and sisters joining us along the way. The command that is on tour at that particular time, feel free to stop that command at any point and make your point. Feel free to stop that command at any point and make your comment. You can even disagree. We only ask that in your disagreement, you not be disagreeable. We must respect each other while we are here and beyond here. But here, we definitely must respect each other. So the sign says warning, which means, of course, that if we can't respect each other, then there are some consequences. Are there any questions before we start the tour? If there are no questions, then we'll start. You'll notice these three sets of maps that run from this end of the center all the way down to the Crenshaw end of the center. These three sets of maps are very profound concept maps. Our top set of maps is what we call our color-coded map display. And our color-coded map display deals with the population of Black people in every county, in every state in the United States. Wherever you see Black on any of these maps, it means that there's approximately 1 million or more Black people living in that particular county. Wherever you see the color purple, 100,000 or more. Wherever you see the color pink, 50,000 or more. Wherever you see the color green, 15,000, blue 10,000, red 5,000. Wherever you see the color brown on any of these maps, it means that there's 1,500 or more black people living in those particular counties. Orange, 500 or more. But the dominant color that you will see, and anywhere you see this color, is the color yellow. Wherever you see this color yellow on any of these maps, it means that there are few or no black people at all living in those particular counties. Our second set of maps is what we call our statistical map display. And it deals with the percentage of black to white in every county, in every state in the United States. A careful look at these maps will show that there are some counties where there's only one black family living in the whole county. 2 black families, 3 black families. You suppose any county where that has 1 black family, 2 or 3 black families, do you suppose that those black families are talking any black talk? Do you suppose they're talking about getting free? No. In any of them counties? Would you expect them to be talking about what they call black power? They would all be talking about integrating and getting together with white folks. There are some counties on this map, on these maps, a careful study would show where there are no black people living at all. The maid is not black, the butler is not black, the garbage man is not black. The only time they see what they call a nigger in some of these counties up here is on TV, and they quickly change the channel. Our last set of maps is what we call our black dot display, or our black reservation concept map. Our contention here at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center is black people do not live in neighborhoods. That's right. Black people do not live in communities. Let it be. Black people do not live in ghettos. Can you prove that? Yes. We contend that black people do not live in neighborhoods, communities, or ghettos for these simple reasons. When we study the etymology of the term community, at the root of the term community is the term commune, coming up out of the African system of communalism, where there is loving, caring, and sharing, where there is collective will, collective love, collective effort, and collective combined, coordinated activity among the people. That's right. You and I must admit the areas where we live, they are not communities. We don't have any communing, any communalism. There's no real loving, caring, and sharing in the areas where we live. And certainly we can't call them neighborhoods. Ne means near, that's true. But we're not talking about the number on the building and address. We're closer than the number on the building or the apartment number or the alphabet that's on the door. We're kith and kin. We're flesh of each other's flesh, blood of each other's blood, and bone of each other's bone. The white man set up breeding plantations all across this country where he mixed us and bred us and interbred us, where he would take the mother and make the mother go to bed with her own son on his plantation. Take the father and make the father lie down and have a baby for the white man's own economic gains to further the progress of his plantation. He would make that father lie down with his daughters. If the mother, who was forced to lie down with her son, had a boy baby for her son, that baby that came from that relationship on the white man's breeding plantation, that boy baby that came from that relationship, that boy is not only the son of that mother's son, but is also at the same time the brother of that mother's son. Is that right? That's right. And the same thing with the father who was forced to lie down with his daughter. So the blood in your veins that bathes your brains will keep me alive, and vice versa. We're kith and kin. But a hood, a neighborhood, meaning near, hood meaning a covering, or an area of safety, security, and protection, where again there is loving, caring, and sharing. Now we've got to admit we don't live in any neighborhoods. There's no real protection, safety, and security. There's no hood or an atmosphere of that kind of safety, security, and protection, and loving, caring, and sharing. It doesn't exist. In order to have a neighborhood, it must come up from a circle of brotherhood and sisterhood. Now you know in the areas where we live, we don't have no brotherhood and sisterhood. We got brothers who are hoods, but we ain't got no brotherhood. We got sisters who are hoods, but no real sisterhood. Now and then do we find signs of brotherhood. Now and then do we find real signs of sisterhood in the areas where we live, so we cannot call them neighborhoods until we have done what is necessary to make them neighborhoods. Ghetto. Where did you get this term ghetto from? You got it from the white man. Whatever he tells you it is, that's what you call it.
That's right.
What is a ghetto? Where does this term come from? Ghetto is a term that comes up out of the Jewish experience in Nazi Germany. Land that was handed down from one Jewish generation to the next Jewish generation. Land that was inherited by a set of Jews in this generation from another set of Jews in another generation. Now, did you inherit the land where you live?
No, you kidding.
Did you inherit Watts?
No.
Did you inherit Nickerson Gardens, Jordan Downs, the Peblos, Imperial Garden? Did you inherit Robert Taylor Housing Project? Did you inherit Harlem?
No.
You didn't inherit it. Why do you call it a ghetto? Because the boss man called it a ghetto. And if the boss called it a ghetto, you call it a ghetto.
That's right.
We don't live in neighborhoods. We don't live in communities. And we don't live in ghettos. You say, well, damn, blood. If we don't live in a neighborhood, a community, nor a ghetto, where do we live? Our contention here at the Black People's Research and Topographical Center is that black people live, brothers and sisters parked out front trying to get around and find the door. That's been our case all the time. We looking for the door. Our contention is we live on reservations.
That's right.
Black people do not live in neighborhoods, communities, or ghettos. Black people live on reservations. The only difference in us and the Indian is the Indian lives on a reservation and knows that he lives on a reservation.
That's right.
We live on reservations and don't even know it. Let's take a look at it. Can you prove that we live on reservations? Yes. The state of California is approximately 156,537 square miles of land. 156,537 square miles of land, and out of this 156,537 square miles of land, black people are only allowed to live on less than 200 square miles of land. There are over 4,719 towns and cities in the state of California, and out of over 4,719 towns and cities, black people are only allowed to live in any significant numbers in less than 90 towns and cities. This entire vast expanse of what you call the United States of America, what we call the United Snakes of America, this entire vast expanse is over 3 million square miles of land. And out of over 3 million square miles of land, black people are crammed and jammed and stacked and packed like sardines in a can and like cockroaches in a Coke bottle into less than 10,000 square miles of land. Out of over 3 million square miles of land, black people live on less than 10,000 square miles of land for the entire United States of America.
Teach it, brother.
That is to say that if you would put all of the dots together, put all of the reservations together, put all of the areas together where we are allowed to live, you could get them all inside of San Bernardino County and still have half of the county left. You can add up all of the dots, all of the reservations where we are allowed to live and get them inside, I repeat, San Bernardino County and still have half of the county left.
Is that all?
And we don't even, sir.
Is that all the people in the country? All the black people in the United States?
That's the land that we have. The amount of land that we are allowed to live on, you added it all up and could bring all of it together. You could get it inside of San Bernardino County, and we would still have half of San Bernardino County left. That is why we say we are stacked on top of each other, packed, crammed and jammed like sardines in a can and like cockroaches in a Coke bottle. All across this country we live on a dot, on a reservation, a dot, and we go from dot to dot to dot all across this country. On these dots, on these reservations, we are totally conquered, totally contained, totally controlled, and totally dependent on somebody who doesn't look like us and who's proven to us time and time and time again that they certainly don't have our best interests at heart. Totally conquered, totally contained, totally controlled, and totally dependent on somebody again who doesn't look like us and who has proven time and time again that they do not have our best interest at heart. If you will look at these three concept maps, Los Angeles and vicinity, San Francisco and the Bay Area, New York and vicinity, these three concept maps are also very profound, and they let you know what's happening on the dot almost down to the street. That if you go north to such and such a street, you run out of niggers. You go south to such and such a street, you run out of niggers. Go east or west to such and such a street, and you run out of what white folks call niggers. Bobby Womack used to sing across 110th Street. What was he talking about? He was saying that you could do your pimping, your punking, your preaching, your prostituting, and your freaking out on this side of 110th Street, but when you get to 110th Street, you have to bring it all to a screeching halt and hook slide and head back to the other section of the dock, because the white folks live on the other side of 110th Street. Our total existence is on a dot. From the womb to the tomb, from the cradle to the grave, we live on a dot. This is where we do our schooling, our churching, our punking, our pimping, our freaking. We do it all right on the dot. Our total existence. And to show you that you know you don't live all over the country, when you get to a town or a city that you've never been to before, what's the first thing you ask when you pull up to the gas station? After you ask where the restroom is. What's the first thing you ask? Where do what? The black folks live. Why do you ask that? Because you know the niggas don't live all over town.
That's right.
You know they live across the track. Huh? They live next to the factories that be pooting and polluting and belching in the air and polluting our circulatory and respiratory system and messing us up.
That's right.
Or you know we live next to the graveyard.
That's right, bro.
The white folks put his niggers next to his dead folks.
That's right.
Because he puts his dead nigger next to the dead folk, because the dead ain't going nowhere and don't need but a little shallow grave.
That's right.
And he gives his nigger a dot or a reservation because the nigger is dead. He killed us.
That's
and he know we ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
So neither one needs very much space. The dead in the grave only need a plot, and his nigger only needs a spot on the dot to make.
Right.
So he puts the two right next to each other. That's our total existence. I try. I've been all over the country. You are a lie. You haven't been all over the country. Raise your lying hand. The one who's been I go all over. I mean, I can't go for what that bald-headed nigga is saying. I done been all over. You a lie. When you get ready to go, let's say you're going to Chicago. You leave the dot, go straight to Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, catch one of them white folks' jets, and you land at Chicago's O'Hare Field. As soon as your black feet hit the street, where you going? Straight to the dot, nigga. Straight to the Chicago dot. If you say you're going to New York, you're not going all over New York. If you do, it's for very temporary reasons.
That's right.
You'll leave the dot in Los Angeles, go to Los Angeles International Airport, go straight to LAX, catch one of them white folks' jets, and you're either going to New York's LaGuardia Airport or JFK Airport. And again, as soon as your black feet hit the street, where you going? To the New York dot.
Right.
You go from dot to dot to dot. All over the country. Your total existence is a dot.
That's right.
Nigga have a car as long as a block. All a nigga's gonna do is get in the car and ride all into the dot and turn around and ride back to the under end of the dot. That's all he's gonna do. Nigga wears out a set of tires riding up and down on the dot. Stalling and grinning and smiling and profiling on the rest of the niggas on the dot. It ain't going nowhere but on the dot. From block to block on the dot. That's our total existence. You live on a reservation. And as soon as we admit that we live on reservation, then we can begin to do what is necessary to get off of the reservation. What do you mean? Now, does that mean we all want to move off the dot and move with white folks? That's not what we're talking about.
No, sir.
We're saying that we're not going to be free until we have land of our own.
That's right.
Well, I thought y'all had stopped talking about that kind of stuff way back there in the 60s. Ain't nobody gonna give us no land. You're right. Ain't nobody gonna give us a square inch of nothing.
Right.
If you get any land, you gonna take it. Oh man, so these niggas crazy. I know. You mad with whoever invited you here. You say you invited me down here to hear this nigga say to insult my intelligence and say we live on a dot. Then the niggas say that we gotta take some land from this bad peck of wood. I don't believe that they're even talking like that down there. Yes.
Wake us up, brother.
Freedom and independence is based on land.
Right.
If you don't have any land, you can't be free on somebody else's land.
That's right.
I mean, you know about the Lion Country Safari ethics, don't you? The Lion Country Safari system, where the elephant runs all over the what they call it? Reserve. The lion, the tiger, the giraffe, they run all over the reserve. It resembles their natural habitat.
That's right.
Huh? Looks something like it. They feel they get to stretch out and really run. The gazelle gets to zip through the trees and stuff. But as soon as his butt gets so far to the north, he's going to run into a fence.
That's right.
If he turns around and runs to the south, he may run for a long time. But he's going to run into a fence.
That's right.
The elephant is going to run into a fence. The lion is going to run into a fence because there are perimeters or boundaries all the way around the animal reserve. As long as we're on the white man's land and he's in control of the land, we can never be free. I mean, some of you say, well, we can vote. All we have to do, I mean, I'm hearing all kind of niggas talk about voting now. Some who was talking pretty bad a few years ago. Now they done decided that voting is the only way we're going to get over. They got a new party now called the Malcolm X Party. Say they going to vote. Got another party coming up, independent. They going to vote. Then you got some other at least they are stronger than the other Negroes. You got another group of handkerchief-head Negroes who ain't talking about an independent Malcolm X Party. You can at least halfway respect that kind of insanity. But it's outright insanity to talk about you gonna take over the Democratic Party, Party or the Republican Party. That's silly as hell. What nigga is gonna take over the Democratic Party or the Republican Party? Well, we just vote in a solid block. It's the ballot or the bullet. Nigga, you crazy. You gonna get the bullet in your butt. The ballot means nothing. What good is the ballot? You've been voting since white folks let you vote. And what have you gotten from it? Nothing. Nothing at all. Out of over 522,000 totally elected public officials in this country, how many do black people have? Less than 0.3%. You mean we even got 1% of the major decision-making positions after 400 years? It would take us another 800 years just to get 1%. You think we got that much time? You think America got that much time? 522,000 totally elected public officials, and we have less than 0.3%. It would appear that we were doing much better during the days of Reconstruction. Black people got real happy during Reconstruction, didn't they? Thought we had gotten over doing Reconstruction. We had positions during Reconstruction, didn't we? Then the white man took everything back and started lynching and hanging and burning and drowning niggas like he'd never done before. Am I lying? You know I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying at all. Political positions mean absolutely nothing for black people. We were at the Black Psychologist Convention yesterday, and they had a handkerchief-head Negro to stand up in there and talk about how much influence black people have.
Yes,
influence over what? What kind of influence does a slave have in the slave master's house. And anyway, that's like an old scrub woman who feels that she has influence in the master's house. Certainly he'll let her run all over the house and run off at the mouth. But does she really control anything in the house? Whose house is it? He may let her sleep in the attic or in the basement and bounce little Johnny on her knee. But is it really her house? Whose keys? Who says when she has to come and when she has to go and what she will have to do within the confines of the house? The owner of the house. That's the same way it is with America. They even call it the White House, don't they?
That's right. Come on, teacher.
You say, oh, now you're just stretching things all out of proportion. So that's why I hate to go around them niggas that talk that black stuff. So they always take a little point and try to stretch it too far. They call it the White House.
Right.
Huh?
Come on.
If you get ready to take a bath, what is a bath house for? Take the steam, you go in and get a steam bath and get a bath, right? A bath house is for bathing.
That's right.
What is a schoolhouse for? Some schooling. What is a church house for? Some churching. Right?
That's right.
And what is a White House for? For some white folk. I mean, it's common sense. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. It just ain't here who the people are. That's the problem. When the definite article "the" is applied to any term, it means that anything that follows "the" is the standard or the epitome by which everything else has to be measured.
That's right.
The people. July 4th, 1776, what were you doing? And what was I doing? Well, first of all, nigga, I wasn't even here. You a lie, you were here. If you weren't here in 1776, how could you get here today?
Good question.
Didn't you come out of your mother and father?
That's right.
Didn't they come out of their mother and father?
That's right.
And didn't they come out of their mother and father? You didn't fall out of the sky. You didn't pop up out of the ground.
No, sir.
You were here in them in 1776. You're nothing but an extension or a continuum in the chain called life.
That's
That's all.
Sir.
If you're here today, you had to be here yesterday.
That's right.
Elijah Muhammad says, how can the branch of the tree deny the root?
Wake us up, brother. Wake us up.
The trunk and the roots may be way over here and the branches may be hanging over there somewhere else.
Yes.
But the branches came from the trunk that came from the root.
That's right.
Isn't it?
right.
It's all the same tree.
Right.
You were here and you were in Africa. I ain't never been to no Africa. It's locked into your genetic memory.
Right.
You were definitely here.
Wake us
There's no
up.
question about it.
Yes, sir.
And now, as we're studying Ebonics, we can find out that from your genetic memory bank, even in your speech pattern, it is still there.
Yes,
Sir.
Many signs of your ethnicity is still here.
That's right.
I think I coined the term,
I hear you.
but it's all right. It's what's called
To Allah.
Kujichagulia, self-determination. As Dr. Maulana Rankaringa said, we must be self-defining, self-defending, and self-developing.
Sir.
So, I mean, ethnicity, you can use that one. It's cool from here on out.
All right.
This is our condition. Let us take a look very briefly. We want to run through this because we want to move to the economics section and we want to cover some things today that perhaps we haven't covered in a few Sundays. Basic things here. That is, housing buyers hit 75% of blacks in the U.S. We have another study that shows now 95% of black people who go, where's Brother Lester who was helping me with the table? That 95% he left me. I've gotten dependent on Brother Lester being right there with the articles right now. Housing buyers. It's 95% of blacks in this country. We want to cover a few things here to show that black people cannot live wherever they want to. July 5th, 1979, Jet Magazine. Blacks still not welcome in all white neighborhoods.
That's old.
Yeah. Here's another old one. April 26, 1979. This is as old as last year. People are talking about the lukewarm reception shown Muhammad Ali by his new neighbors in his exclusive Fremont Park community within Los Angeles. His front door has been marked. And some older residents have expressed worry about his presence.
Yes, sir.
It went on to say that they even fear for Ali's safety and security.
Wait a minute, that's some Arab in it. That wasn't a champ, was it?
Yeah, that's Ali Cassius. Cassius Marcellus Clay. In fact, we don't even call him Ali.
That's right. That's right.
Some of the other brothers may call him. Some of the other brothers may. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad named Cassius Clay Muhammad Ali. He took the name from him once before.
Yes, sir.
Stripped him of the name for a year. And said that he could only wear the name as long. There was very strong stipulation.
That's right. Yes, sir.
As long as he lived up to the name.
Teach, brother.
Ali means most high, exalted. Muhammad means praiseworthy.
Yes, sir.
But the name was given to him because he had become a champion for black people.
Yes, sir.
Not of the fisticuffs.
That's right.
Come on.
But a champion of the cause and the struggle for liberation of black people.
Yes, sir.
With just a little more than a high school education.
That's right.
Muhammad was able to take him, he said he could barely read or write, and put supreme wisdom and a knowledge of his black self in his head and a knowledge of our enemy, the white man. And Ali could go on the TV and handcuff Peckerwoods, Howard Cosell, Johnny Carson.
Yes, sir.
What's that Peckerwood Pine?
Right.
What's that old great Peckerwood woman's name? What's her name?
Barbara.
Bob, how you know that's who I was talking about?
You know who the devil's are.
Barbara Walters. He could handcuff them all. None of them could handle Ali as long as he came from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He stopped the fight. They're trying to ask him, Muhammad, how did you do so and so? You said if he did such and such, you would do it in 3. And he's saying, all praise is due to Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, a black man that has been raised. Muhammad is saying, we thank Allah for raising up one that would get us out of the hands of this beast here in the hells of North America. Muhammad, wait a minute with that stuff. He would tell the world that the black man had a strong revolutionary figure by God raised up in his midst and wouldn't even listen to Cosell most of the time.
Right. They got
in fact, he just sued Cosell and the major network and won 168,000 or something they did to Ali Cassius. Now, very quickly, we're the only, I'm not going to forget your hand, we're the only people in the world, I'm going to get back to this, and to brothers, we're the only people in the world that depend on sports figures and entertainers to be our leaders.
That's right.
Only people in the world. Where are half of the niggas today? Glued to the TV set watching the World Basketball Championship.
That's right.
Dr. J, Daryl Dawkins, and big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who loves, I hear Brother Nano say that about TV, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar loves white women.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Come on, most of those athletes, the first thing the coach do is sick a mangy white woman on.
That's right.
That's one of the main things they do. Basketball players and football players are nothing but 20th century slaves.
That's right.
You're owned outright.
That's right.
I mean owned. They sell the nigga. They buy the nigga, they trade 2 niggas for a nigga.
That's right.
They trade 2 niggas for a white boy.
That's right.
And once you affix your signature to the contract, they can tell you whether you can do commercials, whether you can do this, whether you can do that. They own you outright.
Right.
Am I lying?
No, sir.
Just like on the plantation, you get your physical examination and they check you out and look you up and down.
Assign you a position.
But do not put you in any vein of thought that will lead you to nation building and serious study and liberation.
Sir.
So the brother get in college, they give him a car and a white woman and a contract and lock that nigga's brain up from then on out. But you watching Jamal Wilkes and Magic Johnson today. I see Magic running all through Foxeos all the time, flirting with the white women in the supermarket all the time. But we're the only people that depend on sports figures and entertainers to be our leaders. We figure if a nigga can shoot a basketball or knock somebody down in the ring, he's qualified to be our leader. I mean, that's the silliest people in the world. Singers can influence us. Do you know Barbara Streisand? She's a Jew.
Yes, sir.
I don't care how good Barbara Streisand can sing or act.
That's right.
Tel Aviv or Jerusalem,
Yes,
or
sir.
Knesset,
Yes, sir.
Right.
Menachem Begin and the boys
Right.
would never depend on Barbara Streisand to be an ambassador or a leader
That's right.
from Israel.
That's right.
Look at how they make mockery of us. Pearl Bailey made her an ambassador.
Ain't that something?
Now, don't get me wrong. We love Pearl. She's a good girl. We love Pearl, but she's a singer and a half actor. Hello, Dolly. That's the best Pearl is gonna do. Pearl ain't no ambassador.
That's right.
An ambassador. Now they talking about sent Cassius Clay all over around Africa like he was an ambassador.
Yes, sir.
And they made a fool out of
That's
that
right.
fool.
They sure did.
In Africa. Talked about him and the African brothers and sisters called his fat butt a traitor.
That's right.
Sure did, bro.
Called him a traitor where he went.
Yes, sir.
Cassius Clay.
Readers.
I talked to Cassius up on Crenshaw. Cassius told me, he said, look, I don't want to hear that teaching no more. He said, America ain't going nowhere. America ain't falling. America gonna be here. The white man ain't the devil. He said, don't tell me nothing about white folks no more. White folks ain't done nothing to me. It's niggas that I gotta watch. He said, niggas is my worst enemy. He said, niggas is the devil. That's him, quote, unquote, and I'll tell his fat butt in front of him.
Yes, sir.
That's what he said.
85 pounds.
America won't have to draft him. He said if America goes to war, he will volunteer to fight. He said he would be the first one to jump out of the plane with his gun in his hand.
Let him put a bullet in.
That's what he said.
What happened to him?
Poor fool got turned around.
And he needs to be the first to jump out of the plane. Because the first one to jump out is the first one to get shot.
That's right. He could be the first one. That's right.
I know you were insulted about that because you love Crispus Attucks. Every time any kind of black day or week or W-E-A-K, W-E-E-K come around, a black week come around, a month, you got Crispus Attucks up. He's the first one to die in the American Revolution. Who gives a damn that Crispus Attucks was the first one to die in the American Revolution? Was he a Nat Turner revolutionary? Was he killed? Did he die defending black people?
No, sir.
Did he die trying to liberate his brothers and sisters who were in slavery?
No, sir.
The nigga died fighting for the enemy. They should have killed Crispus Attucks.
That's right.
What do you look like with him all up on the wall? You've got to reassess your values and
That's
your
right.
heroes
Wake us up,
and your
brother.
heroes.
That's right.
A woman was greater than him. Sister
Talk
Harriet Tubman was greater than him.
Right.
That's right.
She would put her pistol on a lame and shoot his brains out if he didn't want to go to freedom.
Come on, brother. All right.
Oh, we got to check this thing out.
Sir.
George Washington Carver. We got a greater history than a peanut butter history, fool. Come on. But he did so much with the peanut. So what? What did he do with it? They don't even name the peanut butter after the brother. It's Skippy and Peter Pan. Peter Pan. They don't even put the man's name on the peanut.
Go, Cornell.
What was your question?
You answered it because I was going to say that it seemed like to me that I kind of like Cassius Clay, coming up.
Yes, sir.
It seemed like to me he's much different now, money-wise, than from his attitude than from when he was much younger. And that's what I was going to ask you. In your opinion, do you feel now has he changed? From back then.
Good question.
I want to ask you. Do you feel he's changed?
What I did, I felt,
Yes,
that it seemed like it was all a money thing in a sense, whereas now every time Clay opens his mouth up, it's $14 to $15 million, and the reason why the white man love him so much is that they know that he can promote that money up, and it's all the thing in terms of making man more money for the white man.
He's the savior of boxing. Not the savior of his people.
That's right.
He's the savior of the boxing world.
That's what he talks about,
Them
too.
devils love him, and just the ticket box money ain't the money that's made. It's big money on the closed circuit. It's big money to that underworld. Underworld. With the big boys that own everything under the sky in the world. They're making big money. But Cassius If you'll notice, Cassius is now saying that he would, I think, Brother Lester. We have a thing up here with Cassius and Billy Graham and Cassius and Jimmy Carter. I mean, Cassius said he's going to try to get 75 million votes for Jimmy Carter. He says he loves Jimmy Carter.
I heard
Jimmy Carter is a good man.
Best president we ever had.
The best president y'all ever had. I'm sorry. That's what he said. He said Billy Graham is. You got that thing with Cassius and Carter.
Look at the slave.
You know where the stuff is. Look at it. Master and the slave. Listen what this man. This man used to be so bold when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was around.
Right.
Look what he said. Ali said Carter is real cool. And he's the greatest president we ever had. This is the only place that that can make me nervous. I was in Russia with President Brezhnev, and I wasn't nervous there. I was in China, and I wasn't nervous there. But that day when I was in the White House, I don't feel too much like talking in my usual way around so much power. Asked about becoming president himself, Ali said that might be a colored president. Another 10 years. Oh, you know I'm lying on him. There might be a colored president. Another 10 years. Things are changing.
That's what they were saying 400 years ago.
Talking about credibility and world fame and connection, if there's a black man to be president, they just might run me. Run that nigga. They've already run him out of his mind. But it says Ali moved into Fremont Park Place. That's right across the street from the Scottish Rite Masonic Temple, where Minister Farrakhan will be giving his West Coast address to an oppressed people. Survival or death. What is the future of the black nation for the 80s and beyond? The black entertainer, the black professional, black businessman, black woman, black child, all the way down to black mansion. Right there on between Lucerne and Plymouth, on Wilshire. Right across the street is Fremont Park Place. Had the big pillars and columns out front, big mansions back off in there, special security and police at the gate. Lou Rawls tried to move in at first. Lou pulled up to the gate and they put the thing down and stopped Lou's car. The special police came out and said, "What you want?" He said, "I'm Lou, baby." He said, I'm looking for a crib. He said, "Look here, this is an exclusive place." What do I mean exclusive? What's the root of the word exclusive? Exclude. What, children and pets, right? No. Excluding niggas.
That's right.
So Lou said, "Well, look, baby, I'm just trying to move in. I'm just down here on the ground, trying to get up." They said, "Look, you can't come in here." Lou went through somebody white and got the house. Ali moves in. Cash.
Yes, sir.
And said they marked his door.
Yes, sir.
What do you suppose they wrote? Here's another brother right here in Jet magazine. Black man moves in with Cleveland white woman. Sees cross burned in his yard. Now here's a nigga that commits 2 crimes. He moved off the dot, off the reservation, and moved with a white woman. A Cleveland man and a white woman he lives with were recent victims of a cross burning incident. Jack Gray, 54, grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, but he never saw a burning cross until he moved north. My mother told me about the KKK, but I never saw it down south, Gray said. I thought I had left all that behind. Gray said in addition to the cross burning, vandals spray painted several racial slurs and obscenities on the garage and shed. They also painted his van and broke into the garage and squirted lighter fluid and tried to burn him out. Now, what do you think they wrote on his van and wrote on his shed and wrote on his house? Here it is right here. Warning, nigga. That in Jet magazine showed you what they wrote. Warning, nigga. In other words, get back to the dot. And it said they wrote on Ali's door. What do you suppose they wrote on Ali's door? Ali is the greatest, right?
Look like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Your hands can't hit. What your eyes, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Welcome to the community Muhammad Ali. Is that what they wrote on the door? No, they wrote, warning, nigga, get back to the dock. Then it says they even expressed worries about his life and his security. This is Cassius.
Those good white folks.
Man, Tom Bradley on his 61st birthday on the front page of the Herald Examiner talked about when he used to live right up the street here, about 8 blocks. When this was an exclusive all-white area, he was a policeman then. He said he used to come out every morning with his boots shining, with his badge glittering in the sun, and his pistol shining. He'd step out on the porch, and the white folks would be going to work, and they'd be coming out, saying the white children would come out. They didn't say, the little white kids, they didn't say, look, mommy, look at the nice policeman. They didn't say that. Everybody on the block would say, look at that nigga. And he had on his police uniform with his car to protect and to serve in the yard. And say, look at that nigga, he said. What is that nigga doing on the block? And of course they moved out, and it's not a white area anymore. They moved out completely, because that's the trend all across the country. That's right. Whenever there gets to be a spot on the block, it's not long before it turns to a dot. White folks go, nigga run in the front door, white folks run out the back door.
That's right.
That's the way it goes.
That's right, bro.
And go to another area, they call it white flight. Where they running from? They're running from niggas, roaches, and rats. Don't want to be around neither one of them. They say if a nigga moves on your block, it brings your property value down.
Right.
That's what they say.
They say?
I didn't say it.
Yes, sir.
That's what your friends say. Huh? That's what your friends say. Your girlfriend. That's what your boyfriend say. The one you talking about, your fiance. That's what they say. When Andy Young was ambassador for the United States, really a mannequin ambassador. Really, we never have any real positions. You're nothing but mannequins. Right. Tom Bradley is a mannequin mayor.
That's right.
Andy was a mannequin ambassador. It's all mannequins. You have on the garment of apparent power, dressed up in power, but no power and no influence.
None at all.
Just there window dressing. But when people come in to take care of some serious business, they don't stop and talk to the mannequin in the window. They pass the mannequin up and go straight to the people who can take care of business.
That's right.
Andy Young was nothing but a mannequin. But when he was ambassador, he talks about the incident that happened when he was in New York at the Waldorf Towers garage. And a white tourist walked up to Mr. Young and instructed him to run and fetch his car for him. Cripps Young, and there I was riding high, being the ambassador of the United States and all this white guy assumed I was just a car hop. To him, I was just another nigga. He was the ambassador of the United States at that time. Our last major point in this section. Just before we go to our last major point in this section. Every basic element and ingredient that existed that caused the Watts Rebellion, the Newark Rebellion, the Harlem Rebellion, rebellions all across this country that the white man calls riots, they have been magnified. They have been multiplied. The same elements that existed in the 60s exist now to a greater degree. Some of the top white police chiefs across this country just a year ago had a special meeting to discuss how their cities could go up in smoke at any time. It says here, the mood in Watts, 13 years later. Watts, 1978, despair mixes with hope. Problems of LA blacks today look a lot like 1965. What are they saying? That the same thing is there and is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yes, sir. They get blamed.
Representative Julian Bond says blacks make up only 1% of the engineers. Out of all the engineers in this country, black people make up 1% of the engineers, only 2% of the doctors, only 3% of the administrators, and only 6% of the craftsmen. We're the last hired and the first fired. We're poor out of proportion to our numbers. We're hungry despite the integration of lunch counters. We're ignorant despite the integration of schools. Walter Cronkite did a study that showed that 42% of black children that come out of white schools come out functional illiterates. Why? Because the school kills them. Other studies show that the black child is psychologically and mentally superior to his white counterpart from birth up to age 2, then on beyond that, studies go to age 6 to 10. What happens to the child at age 6? It's when we send him to the devil's school. Right. And there they kill him or her outright in the school. That's right. That's right. Bond goes on to talk about what he called the doom factor. How many of y'all know slugging Hank Aaron? Did he break the record? Got all kind of threats from folks when he was getting ready to break Babe Ruth's record. That's right. Here's CBS's Ted Dawson. You probably know the Peckerwood Ted Dawson on CBS. This is what he had to, he's on ABC now. Here's what Ted Dawson had to say about Hank Aaron, the home run champion. He said, yeah, Turkey. Oh, it says, CBS's Ted Dawson says Hank Aaron is a nigger. Yeah, Turkey. You read it right. Hank Aaron is a nigger. A stupid, lazy, dim-witted, slow-footed, untrustworthy, black-ass nigger. You don't believe it? Just ask the Atlanta Braves. Just ask the Milwaukee Brewers. Just ask Major League Baseball. Oh yeah, Hank Aaron is a nigger all right. Never mind the fact that the friendly, outgoing, fiercely loyal former baseball player just happens to be the greatest home run hitter of all times, that he devoted 25 years of his life in relative obscurity to the American pastime of baseball, or that he revived severely slumping interest in that game and his remarkable bat and cat-like reflexes. That game now treats him like some kind of a carnival freak show. That's a warning to Ali. Cash. Why isn't he, with his marvelous personality, working in Major League Baseball's commissioner's office? Why, with his years of training, isn't he at least a coach somewhere? Instead, Hank Aaron, the amazing Hank Aaron, the incomparable Hank Aaron, has a job called the Director of Player Development for the Atlanta Braves, which would be fine if he was in fact really directing the development of players, but he isn't. It's just a glorified title for a guy who shows up at the ballpark once in a while to try to sell some tickets. Over 714 home runs, and that's the way they treat Hank Aaron. That's the way they did the Brown bomber, Joe Louis. Yes. They used Joe Louis up. Yes. And as good as Joe Louis was at heart, they knew that he didn't have too much smart. He'd get on, glad I won, Ma. And they put Joe's picture up all over the cities to attract young boys. And Joe would be saying on the posters to go and fight for America. Now they got Ali Cassius out there saying, go and fight for America. And now our major point in this section to conclude it. Our contention is that war is coming in this country. When we say war is coming in this country, we don't mean a rock band. No, we're not talking about a rock band. When we say war is coming in this country, we mean, as the Bible says, that blood is going to flow in the streets to the horse's bridle. We're talking about war and revolution and bloodshed. Some serious head-knocking, throat-cutting, pistol-packing, rifle-shooting and bombing and blowing up in America. War is coming in this country. War is coming in this country where white folks plan to kill every black man, woman, and child in the country. Ammo, guns, by the ton, dug up near L.A., Herald Examiner. More munitions found by Hunter, near Wrightwood. Arsenal found, arrest made. How many of you know Earl Shive say he'll paint any car for $69.95? Auto paint shop chain, Peckerwood. Yes, sir. You know him? Yes, sir. This is his son, Philip Earl Shive. Philip Earl Shive was found as the owner of over 8 tons of weapons. 5 tons in one place and a cache of 3 tons in another place. Deputy District Attorney John Watson brought in some big guns Friday to help him with the prosecution of Philip Earl Scheid, son of the auto paint shop chain owner, perched atop a cart wheeled into the courtroom of Superior Court Judge Bonnie Lee Martin, were a .50 caliber machine gun, an 88 millimeter mortar, a bazooka, and a Sten gun. Scheid is being tried for alleged illegal possession of weapons and explosives. And they asked him, what did he have it all for? He said he was gathering weapons and survival gear for the upcoming revolution. Now this Peckerwood had anti-tank artillery. He had artillery that could knock a tank off the block. What could it do to a row of houses on the reservation? You know how much time Philip Earl Scheid got? 2 years. In Judge Bonnie Lee Martin's Superior Court, he got 5 years probation. I'm not lying to you.
They didn't go to jail.
5 years probation. His partner got 90 days in the county jail. How much time would you and I get for a rusty 22?
Life.
I'm not lying. How could he get 5 years? How could his probation? How could his friend get 90 days? Because the judges are working with them also.
White folks.
Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, as he spoke at Howard University, his theme of his lecture was for blacks to watch out for the traps that white folks are setting for us. He went on to say that the Ku Klux Klan is on the rise and that they never died, and the Klan no longer just wears white, that they wear blue uniforms now.
Yes, sir.
They lynch black people legally.
Right.
Brother Jerry Lee Amos, shot from his ankle all the way up to his shoulder 25 times by the Los Angeles Police Department. And he was the wrong one. The wrong man shot 25 times. You don't have to shoot an elephant 25 times. This brother was shot 39 times by the New Jersey police. 39 times till they blew his chest cavity out. Brother William Gavin shot 22 times. Huh? Cedric Stewart, Jimmy Lee Campbell, Eula May Love. Huh? So the other brother's name was killed in Watts. That's up north, Melvin Black.
Cedric Stewart.
Leonard Deadweiler.
Yeah.
Another brother was killed in Los Angeles.
Oh, I can't think of the brother's name.
Carlos Washington.
All of those.
Yes, sir.
The list goes on and on.
Sure does.
I'm thinking of the brother who was shot a couple of times on the scene and then was found to be shot several more times when he got to the
In
hospital.
the ambulance.
I can't think. We went to his funeral. I can't think of his name. Nevertheless,
They just killed another brother yesterday. Another black man was killed. They handcuffed him and beat him to death.
Yeah. Beat them over the head.
Yep.
that's our fault.
That's right. We died.
We killed him. We killed him. How did we kill him? We ain't organized. We ain't organized at all. There has to be repercussion. We've got to talk and speak the white man's language. Bolton ain't his language. Pinkerton ain't his language. Every time he killed one of us, a group of black activists get together with their signs. We tired, we fed up, we ain't gonna take it no more. You say, all right, nigga, we'll see. And they shoot another one the next weekend. And they get out, we tired, we sick, we fed up, we ain't gonna take it no more. Nigga, what is that? If anything, you should take the damn picket sign and be working on some Peckerwoods behind. Marching. This nigga Jesse Jackson, didn't he just have a march? Didn't Jesse have a march? Or working on a march. He working on
went to Florida regarding the Haitians.
Yeah. What we look like marching?
And they came out.
Who you ever know that marched to freedom? You march to freedom stepping over your enemies' bodies. That makes sense. But ain't nobody gonna give you nothing, nigga, marching in the streets. Shoot you, beat you upside your head. That's about it. But every time they kill one of us, we go and march. There's no black army. There's no answer. No answer. Black men, weak-hearted. I'm busy. I got to do this. I got to do that. Well, I'm thinking about it. You know, I'm still checking it out. I'm checking what out, nigga? You gonna fool around and get checked out.
That's right.
And I'm mad because I'm gonna get checked out waiting for you. When are we gonna organize? Well, I don't want to be a part of nothing. I ain't want to join nothing. I'm by myself, you know. I mean, I just do what I can. I don't understand that. And they increasingly show us that we've got to organize and mobilize.
Right.
We've got to. There has to be an answer. We've got to talk back.
Make it plain. Yes, sir.
You got to find Peckerwoods dead at Winchell's Donut with their head in their donut box and their coffee spilled in their lap.
Oh, make it plain.
That's an answer.
Make it plain.
You got to find them at the Colonel's.
Yes, sir. Right, brother.
Huh?
Yes,
at the
sir.
Colonel's with a #2 snack pack on the floor and his apple pie smashed on the steering wheel, slumped it with blood running all out his mouth with his head hanging out of the side of the car. That's an answer.
That's right.
You talking back now.
Right, they hear you.
And they hear you. Anything else they don't hear.
That's right.
Motorcycle cops got to be found along the highways. That's the answer. Ain't no other answer. When people know that you will retaliate, they'll stop.
That's
Even
right.
better than that, when they know that you will stop killing yourself, stop selling dope to yourself, stop pimping yourself, stop prostituting yourself, stop misusing and abusing yourself, then they know that's a tight, strong people coming together. And they'll know they can't come in with that. But nobody respects somebody who don't respect themselves.
Make it plain.
You can't respect you if you don't respect yourself.
Teach, brother.
You ain't got no army to clean up the dope pushers. Well, I mean, if that's what he want to do, blood, you know, I believe in people doing their thing, and I do my thing, and you don't bother me if I don't bother you, and if perhaps our paths cross, I go into people's house and they have that mess up on their wall. You don't bother me, and I don't bother you, and if our path... What is that, nigga? What is the matter with you? Yeah, you bother me, and I bother you. I'm linked to you, and you're linked to me. What I do affects you. What you do affects me. And what I don't do affects you. And what you don't do affects me. We're together, whether we want to be or not.
That's right.
We're together.
Yes, sir.
We got to put an answer to the dope pusher. He's got to be stopped.
That's
War is coming in this country, and we've got to tighten up.
That's right.
We've got to stop the dope pusher. How you going to stop him? You got to try to reach him. You got to try to teach him.
Yes,
her. You got to try to pull him in.
Yes, sir.
Closer to him.
Gotta try.
If you can't, then we got to kill him.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you just got to kill him.
Yes.
Straight out.
Yes, sir.
Pimps,
Yes.
we got to try to reach them and teach them and pull them in. If we can't, we got to kill them.
That's right.
Prostitutes have got to be surprised on corners all across this country. We got to have a band of bold men that will jump out and snatch their dresses off and whip their behind with razor straps on corners all across this corner and beat them off of the corner. Say, get off the corner. Just beat them all off of the corner and get in and speed away.
Make it plain. Yes, sir.
Pimps have to be found with their high-heel shoes and their big hats and their diamond rings on, dead in alleys and in cars. That's the only way you're going to stop it. Faggots and lesbians ain't going to happen. We got to kill them.
That's right.
So, wow, that's a... What? People got a right to do what they want to do behind closed doors.
Come on.
What faggot or lesbian do you know that just wants to be alone behind closed doors? Every faggot or lesbian is looking for another woman and like new meat as often as possible. And the faggot is looking for a man. Don't want to be just faggots with faggots. And lesbians don't just want to be with another lesbian. They're all looking for somebody to hit on and get a new phone number somewhere. Or to grab some of our young boys and young girls and turn them out.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Because they can't reproduce.
It's all right if they. It's all right if they. That's right. Brothers say that's how they reproduce. They can't reproduce life, so they reproduce death in the black nation by converting somebody to their freakish way. That's the way they reproduce. Now the faggots are coming out. Ain't no closet sissy.
They out marching.
They march out gay liberation on the college campuses. They had at the Congress of African People, Minister Farrakhan was the keynote speaker in the early 70s, had all the black leaders and nationalists there, and the faggots showed up with their red, black, and green flag. Now, when you get the black nation, can we have a place in the black nation?
Yes, sir. 6 feet under.
Yeah, we got a place for you. We're gonna have some land for the faggots and the lesbians. They're gonna get the biggest piece of land than anybody. They start out with some land, some of this earth that they can call their own.
We gotta clean it up.
But I'm telling you the truth. We've got to kill faggots and lesbians if we can't convert them and change them.
That's right.
You can't have a nation that's strong with weakness reeking in the nation, throughout the nation. I ain't talking about America, I'm talking about a black nation. All of those things have to be straightened out. War is coming in this country, and white folks are prepared to kill every black man, woman, and child in this country. They've got ethnic gas. There we are, you got the Indian, the Chicano, and the Oriental. They got gas after they've studied the chemical and the biological makeup of the different people. They've got gas that will kill according to race. Here it is. Every race and ethnic group has an inherited susceptibility to specific ailments. In their infernal race for better weapons, the scientists from the Defense Department, the CIA, and the criminals have developed the ultimate horror. Weapons that can target and kill or weaken specific races. This Peckerwood is ready for war.
Right.
What are you ready for? Let's see what you're ready for.
Too hot, boogie dance.
You deserve to dance. That's what you're getting ready for. You deserve to dance. You deserve to die if you don't get it together. Black people are going to either have to deal or die. And I'm mighty afraid if we continue with the posture we have, we're going to do more dying than dealing. The Miss Big Bottom LA contest. That's what you're getting ready for. You're ready for the booty contest. Or you can go out, look here.
Cover girl lounge.
Look at these niggas and a white girl. Look at these niggas, a booty contest. This was in Chicago, this one was in LA. But you look turning around, tooting your booty up in somebody's face, trying to win a booty. White folks stockpiling weapons to kill you.
That's right.
Huh? Susan Ronwickle, smelling like Avon, with her freckles. She's out at the pistol range, at the rifle range, getting ready for war, and you ready to show your booty.
Come on.
Huh? This is crazy. And these niggas stood around arguing. How did she get in the booty contest? I mean, I got more than she has. And white men put the booty contest on in Chicago. Who has Chicago's top bottom? It says the top bottom didn't come out on top in Chicago. A white woman with her flat ironing board booty won the contest.
Come on.
And you know you got cheated. You can't win the booty contest. It ain't even fair. And you know you had enough booty to be in 3 contests.
Right.
And you said, and didn't win. There you are again, showing your shame to the world.
Oh,
Silver
man.
Star Productions. Dance your
Butt off. It's ridiculous.
That's right.
It's too hot. Nigga, it ain't hot yet. Live freaks. That's what you getting ready for. Freak of the week.
Oh, man.
The Black Hole Boogie.
Wake us up, brother.
The Rapper's Delight. The so-and-so and so-and-so and the such and such and the so-and-so, so-and-so and niggas are headed to the camp. The Easter Boogie. Jesus supposed to be getting up while you getting down.
LSD protection.
Funky Town. May 9th. Funky Town. That's what you ready for.
Coming out.
Rollers.
Won't be here.
Niggas skating it. I mean, you see these niggas up and down the streets?
Radio.
I mean, nigga put music on. Put some radio. The white man know how to close a nigga. What the last poet said, keeping us doing things so we ain't got time to think. Get a nigga an earphone radio and some roller skates and the nigga just be.
That's it.
Down the damn street, you say, hey, brother. I don't know what's going on. Fire truck coming. Ambulance almost run over. He don't hear nothing. Just snapping his finger. What is wrong with you?
Right. In his shorts.
High heel shoes. Huh? Frilly shirts on. This is a man. In 1980, frilly shirts and high heel shoes and nylon panties and nylon underwear and oh, what is this? And what they call that mess? Jerry curl. Huh? For Geraldine. California curl. Talking about curls for the girls, baby. Curls for the girls. That's what curls are for, fool. Girls and white boys.
That's right.
But we done gone back worse than the process. Huh?
That's right.
Jerry, nigga, what you look like with a Jerry curl in your nappy head? California curls. And a purse. And high heel elevator shoes.
Right.
And rollers.
Right.
Nigga with yellow rollers and blue rollers and walking up and down the street with rollers. No wonder this Becker would start shooting us 25 and 30 times. He's scared as hell of us. He see a nigga, I shoot something, I see it coming at me with all this on. You don't know what that nigga is gonna do. You don't know what the nigga is on. That's right. If he said PCP, the nigga has just been robbed of a knowledge of himself. The white man has created a Frankenstein monster and can't keep up with it no more. Dr. Frankenstein created a monster and put his name on the monster. And the monster turned on Dr. Frankenstein. The white man has created a Frankenstein monster and he don't know how in the hell to deal with this monster. Sister with a three-piece suit on like a man.
Yes, sir.
Vest on. Tie. Hat cocked ace deuce.
Yes, sir.
Attaché case
Right.
like a man. And when you put on man's clothes, it
Yes, sir.
changes you.
Yes, sir.
You even walk a little bit like a man.
Yes, sir.
And when you put on women's stuff, it changes you. I don't care how tough you claim you are, it has a change. Makes a change.
Right.
Get up in the morning, you and your woman argue over the rollers. Nigga, what is this? They're my rollers. No, they're my rollers. I got them rollers yesterday from Thrifty's, woman. Rollers. What's the matter? We gonna develop a pipe squad that will jump out of these trucks and cars on your behind with pipes to rollers. We're gonna have a roller skate squad. We catch a faggot switching down the street, we gonna put the roller skate squad gonna jump out with pipes. Roller skate on your behind. I'm telling you what's gonna be happening all across the country. It's not just the Muslims, there's other brothers and sisters talking like this too.
That's right. Make it plain.
Developing the same principles of cleaning this thing up. We gotta clean this thing up.
Clean it up.
We gotta get it together.
Yes.
War is coming in this country.
Coming.
There's a rise in the Ku Klux Klan, a rise in the Nazis all across this country. The really ugly America, where they talk about war coming in this country within the next 2 years. U.S. News and World Report, the Ku Klux Klan tries for a comeback. Jet Magazine, KKK constantly growing and becoming more visible. KKK's old image of hate still flickers. Life Magazine, a long white summer for KKK kids. So they're organizing hundreds of thousands of white kids across this country.
You doing that?
The schedule calls for firearms training and lectures on the inferiority of non-white races. We're teaching them self-defense for the upcoming race war. For the what?
Upcoming who?
Race
What?
war.
What?
Race war.
A nationwide drive by the Ku Klux Klan, recruiting children aged 12 to 17. Says that they'll soon have over 100,000 kids joining up with them. The kids are out there just waiting for us. They want and need the Klan. They interviewed 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and 15-year-old Peckerwood kids who said they ready all across this country. Young Angela Falk said, 13 years old. She said, niggas are trying to take over the schools and stuff, and I don't think that's right. Her mother, Tina McNair, added, I'm pleased that Angela is in the Klan Youth Corps. The niggas think they can touch white girls and do whatever they want to with them, and that's not right. Robin Messer, 14 years old, said that the whites need to unite. The niggas are united. Robin's dad, Jack Messer, said, I'm proud Robin's in the Klan Youth Corps. I'm a Klansman, and so was my father and my grandfather. Herman Slayton, 16 years old, said white kids don't usually stand up for themselves, but in the Klan you do. The Klan means together. Goes on to say here that they teach them how to use baseball bats for other things than just hitting home runs. Say we teach them how to punch niggas properly and do maximum damage without hurting themselves. Say they are organizing 100,000 across the country. Here's some of them right here. You know when they 12, they look like they 30. Them Packer would be 15 years old, and you swear they got 8 children. Big old Packer. Ebony Magazine, the Ku Klux Klan, robed racists are active from coast to coast.
That's from the whole magazine.
Time Magazine.
What's the date? Okay.
Time Magazine, November 5th, 1979. Got old tricky devil Kennedy on the cover.
Oh, baby.
Why was it in Time Magazine?
Good question.
What are they telling white folks? They're telling them what time it is.
Yeah,
It's time to organize.
Time.
The American scene. What are they saying? They're telling white folks, if you ain't with this, you ain't with what's happening. This is the American scene. This is what time it is. It's what Time Magazine is telling them. In Illinois, it's the festival of the fed up. Fed up with who?
Black folks.
Fed up with niggas. Says the League's 25,000 white members are aggressively white, Christian, patriotic, and mad as hell, and resolved not to take it anymore. They seem to represent every age group, income bracket, occupation. Every occupation? Judges, mayors, senators, policemen, sheriff, FBI, CIA, presidents, principals, doctors in these hospitals experimenting on our people. It said they represent every occupation, but only one race. You're welcome to join us as long as you're white. John R. Harrell, founder of the League, said over the phone a few days earlier, we work with all races, but we don't believe in mixing them. We feel that almost 50% of the world's problems are caused by the mixing of races. He's right on that. Yes, which we believe to be totally against the natural makeup of man. This is a Caucasian meeting only. We'll get together with other races elsewhere. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
We'll get together with other races elsewhere. What do they mean by that?
War.
He's talking about on the battlefield. America is not just headed down the primrose path to perdition they fear. It is already there. It says America's not just headed for hell, it's already in hell.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have a full-scale revolution, says Harold, his voice rising. We got half the world's wealth, and the rest of them are coming to take it from us. The black man's angry. The yellow man's angry. Everybody's angry but the white man. He's asleep. Sound like Muhammad's teaching. We've had it too good for too long. We're soft and we're weak. We're going to be chastised. We're going to be invaded and lose 2/3 of our American territory. This is the devil telling you what's going to happen to him. He said that America is going to lose 2/3 of her territory. We're going to lose half of our population. We're going to see blood and guts strewn all over this country. We'll be lucky if we have 2 more years. This is the devil talking.
That's right. Make it plain. Kill all those beasts.
Esquire magazine.
Yes, sir. Read it.
Ain't nothing you can do but join the clan. Esquire magazine, March 1980. Nothing. That is, if you are a certain kind of man in a certain kind of time, nothing you can do but join the Ku Klux Klan. Then they show you a picture. Here's the Reverend, the what?
Reverend.
No.
Oh, no.
Clan got a
Not
reverend.
Reverend. The Reverend Drummond, a Klan chaplain. These Peckerwoods, he says, God help us to know that God has a Klan in heaven. The devil is mean, boy. This devil is mean. The devil said there's a Klan in heaven.
Clan in heaven. Good God.
The preacher told you that you were going to get a pie in the sky in the sweet by and by after you die. Nothing sound on the ground while you're still around. But you're going to get some milk and honey every day in heaven. If they got milk and honey in heaven, don't they have to have some ground? Don't they have some grass for the cows to eat? Huh? Who you think going to be milking them cows? Huh? If they got honey, who you think going to be fighting them bees? Huh? But it's not like that anyway.
That's right.
Heaven is in the hereafter.
That's right.
The Bible says we're deaf, dumb, and blind. Say we have eyes, but we can't see. Ears, but we can't hear. And Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we are people hard to lead in the right direction, easy to lead in the wrong direction. We can be with a man that makes us look like the picture of health and find it hard to stay there, and will go out in the grave and look like walking death. Messenger Muhammad said we easy to lead in the wrong direction, hard to lead in the right direction. Of people that think it's all right to do wrong and all wrong to do right. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Us to a T. Lost sheep, the Bible calls us. Lost in a house among wolves. And anybody can come and lead the sheep. Even a Jim Jones can lead them all the way to Guyana to their death. The sheep just say bad and will follow anybody except right guidance. We fight right guidance all the way. They call themselves the Christian Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yes, sir.
What is their symbol?
Cross.
The cross. Huh?
That's right.
Esquire magazine. Look at this. There's Peckerwood here with his little blue-eyed white baby devil with an automatic machine gun.
Little babies?
He says his little baby boy loves to pull the trigger of the machine gun. He said he's training him to kill right now.
No.
Yes, sir.
New West Magazine, May 1980. CHP, the running nigger target, used by the sheriff's department. Running nigger target. Shows a silhouette of a black running.
That's right. What does that mean? It means that the police practice on what they call a running nigger target, a black target. It's a black target. They practice on shooting the black target. You didn't hear that in the news? All of the talk about the black target? How many heard about it? Pull your hands up. I want them to know I ain't lying. Because I know brothers and sisters come here and they quick to say, where can I get some proof on that? What they mean is, where can I go and find where the white folks agree with you?
I heard on this news media.
Here it is right here. He's teaching his little baby devil how to shoot. And he's a little devil. I mean, they tell you that. They'll tell you in a minute, oh, isn't he a cute little devil? All the time. What else? We got a New West magazine here. So I wish people wouldn't come in here and take the magazines out. New West magazine, and on the cover it shows America burning in the black background. The white man and his woman with their gun in their hand and their food and medical supplies all around them. And it says, armed, ready for the fall of Western civilization. That's on the cover of New West magazine.
They know it's coming.
Oh, they ready. Armed, stocked, and ready for the fall. That's in the April edition, I think, maybe March. We want to close out this section so that we won't take a lot of time, and we can take you right over to the economics section where Brother Nano Olu will take you into black people's present involvement or non-involvement in the economic system of white America. Our chase after the big buck, after the greenback, after the paper. He will show you that those who sell us air sandwiches and pipe dreams about getting a steak and a piece of rock, a stake in the American economy and a piece of the rock, that they are actually a vested interest, that they are actually fooling us and fooling themselves too if we go for it. So he will deal with our involvement in the economic system of white America. And before we leave this section, I'll take any questions if you have any questions. Are there any questions before we move to the next section? We'll have a break after that section. We have food, and we'll have natural fruit juices, and probably fruit and bean pies and the works. Are there any questions? If there are no questions, would you please stand? Would you, everybody, move down toward that section, but don't get seated, and the brothers are just going to turn the chairs around right quick. Brothers, would you move in right quick? Set the chairs up facing it.
Thank you. This section of the tour is going to be kind of, let you kind of cool out a little bit. It's not going to be quite as strong as the last section. Is that right?
No, you're sorry about that, but.
This section we're going to deal with the thing that we all are concerned with. Now, one thing we're concerned about is our lives and our future. That's why we're here today. And the next thing that we tie into that directly is money. This right here. Now, that's powerful because it controls us. We say, no, I control my, no, it controls us. It tells us where we're going to live. Because the first thing you ask about a new place you want to rent is, how much is it? They tell you it's $600 a month. You say, well, goodbye. They control how much you're going to eat. When you go to the store, you have to put stuff back if it costs too much more than what you got in your pocketbook, don't you?
Right.
It controls where you going to eat, what you going to eat, where you going to live, what you going to do. You ready to go to a dance, and you walk up to the door and do, say, $10. You turn around. You ain't dancing that hard. You can put some records on at your house. $10? This is powerful. Now, something that powerful, we should have a lot of information about it. We should know it inside out, upside down, backwards, forwards. Just to give you a complete demonstration, this right here. How many of us have one of those in our pockets? Please raise your hand.
I'm really fortunate enough to.
Please raise your hand. If you have one, raise your hand. Please raise your hand high. Don't be afraid, but you know, they ain't gonna see you too hard. Now, if you have one of these in your hand, please let me know about it, because I haven't seen one. I don't mean one this side. This is just a replica. I haven't seen one, no, lately. Because you see, that is a silver certificate. You do not have a silver certificate. Anyone with a silver certificate, now please raise your hand. You got one, brother? You have one at home. You saved it from a long time ago, didn't you? Now you know there's a difference, don't you? What is this one backed by? What is your Federal Reserve note backed by? Nothing. It's a promise. I promise I'm going to pay you something, maybe if I get something. That's what the federal government is saying, aren't they? They say, well, maybe if we got something, we might give you something for that dollar bill. But that's all it is, a promise. Now see, we have to look at the worth of that promise to understand a dollar bill. White folks promised us to give us something for that dollar. Is that right? Didn't they promise the Indians something too? Yes. They said, we promise we won't go into the Black Hills. We promise we'll leave you alone on your land. We promise we'll be your friend. What did they want to do to the Indians? Did they keep those promises? Huh?
Put them on the reservation.
When they put them on the, did they promise some other stuff on the reservation? Are they still promising them stuff and still breaking those promises? In order to look at the worth of that thing, you got to look at the people who are backing it. If I promise I'm going to pay you tomorrow, sister, you got to look at who I am, right? Before you accept that promise, won't you? That's just to give you a small hint as to where this particular tour is going to take you. Basically, we're going to use this as a focal point, this chart. This is our general principles chart. Just a general basis of where we're going to start from. A general structure of the unbreakable powers of controls for the enslavements of freedoms. Enslavements of who? Of us. Taking of whose freedoms and enslaving who? Us. What do they use? What mechanism? They use 3 different bases. Finance, industry, and market. 3 different areas. Now most of us, we get in economics class and say, oh man, it's going to do some heavy economics. I don't know if I'm ready for this. You're ready because you deal with it every day. You deal with financing. You had to finance yourself to get here. You put some gas in your car, you financed it, didn't you? You financed the bus fare. You financed the shoes you put on your feet to walk in the door. You financed it. Everything you do, you finance it. We're going to deal with the number one thing first, the financing. That's where the money is, the buck, the dollar, the yen, the mark, whatever you want to call it. Here we have the financiers. Now you see we have the top 10, the 10 in the world. U.S. government federal loans, banks, powerful and rich industrial corporations, commercial loans, powerful and rich insurance corporations, state city bond issue monies, public stocks, co-ops and shares, private capital, millionaire investors, savings and loan association, and my favorite, the underworld monies. We're not supposed to say 11 black folks? Huh? Well, wait a minute, maybe 17 black folks. 39 black folks. Huh? Don't have no finances? We don't finance nothing? Now see, there was a brother here who was from Harvard one day. He raised his hand. He said, wait a minute, brother. We are involved in all of those levels. There are black people on every one of these levels. I said, you're most astute and you're very correct. We are on every one of these levels. But the point is how? Are we the controllers? Are we the manipulators? Or are we the chumps, the tricks, and the fools? Well, now let's check it out for those who have some doubts. U.S. government federal loans. How are we involved? What do we give the federal government? Don't we give them taxes? Is that right? Do we give them taxes? Now, we give them taxes, and more taxes. Is that right? When we get tired of paying taxes, what do we keep on doing? We pay some more taxes, don't we? Now, that's not so bad. But what do when we get through paying all those taxes, what do we get back for those taxes from the federal government?
Nothing.
We say, well, we can purchase a home. FHA, VA, we can purchase a home. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
They cut that out too.
Well, they're cutting it out.
Yes, sir.
But we said we used to do that, couldn't we? Purchase a home. Now, if you pay 35 or 40 years on a house, you've paid for it. It shows. You got the deed, you tore the mortgage up, it's your house now. Is it really your house?
No, sir.
Bro, that's a beautiful tie you have on. Let's say you bought that tie from me. And every day you had to come out and give me a penny. Every day. And one day you forgot to give me that penny and I came and got your tie. Whose tie was it really? Even though you were wearing it.
Yours.
Whose tie was it really? If I can come get it for a penny. It's my tie, isn't that right? Is your house ever really your house? Even though you paid 30 years for it, 40 years for it? What about the brother who bought his house out on Century Boulevard? And they say, now you got to clear the whole area out. We're putting in a defense highway. And you call them freeways. They're defense highways. They defend against us. Y'all think those nice little signs on the Santa Monica are just to be cute? Well, they're slowing and liberating. They're there for a reason. They're going to monitor the troops down on you. Those are defense highways. They're paid for by with defense dollars. But now, they say we're going to put another one in. So they cleared you out your house. You say, wait a minute, you can't take me out of my house. I reared my children here. That's you out there on Century Boulevard. You say, I reared my children, I'm staying in this house. Is that right? They say, no. This land is under the property of the federal government. He said, I got my deed. He said, have you ever read your deed? You say, well, let me go check it out. So you go get your deed. On the bottom of your deed, and of every deed in America, it says the United States government maintains the right of eminent domain, which means anytime they want it, they got it.
That's right.
And you got to get up off of it.
No matter how much.
Now, that sounds pretty hard, doesn't it? The house is never your house. And you can lose it for not paying taxes. Now, if your house is worth $20,000, how much would you have to not be able to pay in taxes to lose the house? $1,000, right? 500, 150, 50 cents? You said, no, he exaggerated. I said, what about the sister in Florida who lost her house for $3.05? Lost her house for back taxes. How much were the taxes? $3 a year. Was the house ever really hers? No, it wasn't hers. We also can get small business loans. May 1977 issue, Ebony magazine. Small business loans, section 8, are there to produce failure. They give the money to produce failure. They have a 93% failure rate among black people when they give them an SBA loan. And you say, well, why would they give away all that money? Why would they give hundreds of millions of dollars every 10 years, every year, to produce all this failure if they know they're going to do it? Simple. Because the world is larger than America. America has to deal with other black people in other countries. Now, do you know when they go to other countries, some people ask them, how are you treating those black folks in America? Well, we gave them $600 million in the last 5 years for small business loans. And the niggas just didn't know how to have no money. We sorry, but they just didn't know how to have no money. No. When you investigate every single one of those cases, a brother walked in there saying he needed $13,500. They gave the brother $10,900. Now he knew he needed $13,500. He knew that when he walked in there. They gave him just enough to think maybe he might be able to get over if he struggled hard enough, if he talked bad enough, if he borrowed tough enough. But they knew he wasn't going to get over anyway. That was the whole game plan to keep him down, to make him think maybe he might get somewhere with a small business loan. They know the brother's going to fail.
That's right.
What's the gross profit average? As desired. Overhead, as desired. Who prints the money?
Good question.
Who makes money? Who makes dollar bills? The government. So who would determine the overhead? The government, wouldn't it? Don't they do it? Don't they determine the prime interest rate?
That's right.
Huh? They determine it. They determine what it's going to be. They determine all of this. Now this as desired, you will see that again. We're going to go in a circle. Banks, savings and deposits. That's the next big source of money, isn't it? We're ready to go to Bank of America, UCB. Is that right? How many banks are there in California? I mean, in terms of names. There's Bank of America, UCB, First California. There's a whole bunch of banks, right? Whole bunch of them. Is that right? It's only one bank. There's only one bank in California. That is Bank of America. There's one bank in California. They all use the very same bank corporation, which is the holding company for all of the banks. That is why you can get a MasterCharge or Visa, as they call it, from every bank you walk in now. They all use the same system. No difference.
That's right.
There's no competition among banks. None. They all come from the same source. There's one bank with the same policies. You hear the same words in all the banks. No difference. But what about these banks? Savings and deposits. How do they treat us? Remember I said we came in as tricks, chunks, tricks, and fools. Is that right? Well, let's look at it. Let's look at these banks. Do they really treat us that way? Do you have any children? Name somebody's got some children. Please raise your hand. Small child. Okay. Small child. How old is your child? 8. Okay. When it was 4, do you have any relatives, or uncles or sisters? Okay. Suppose one of them had come over to the house and given your child $20 as a present when it was 4 or 5. Would you have allowed your child to keep that money in its own hand and spend as it wanted to? No, of course not. You'd have taken it from it and invested it or saved it for it. Is that right? For your own child, right? You'd have did that. Is that right? That's the relationship between an adult and a child, a parent and a child. Is that right? It's a very good relationship. If the child, if here's an ice cream truck outside and runs up to you and says, look, I need $2 of my money to go buy some ice cream. You say, no, dinner's coming, you can't have it. Now go on and sit down and go finish playing or doing your homework. Is that right? What does the bank say to us? We walk up to a bank and give it $5,000. What does the bank say to us the next day if we want to get that $5,000 out? They call you in. The manager wants to talk to you. What do you need your $5,000 for? Is that right?
You don't need that $5 grand. Sit down, let us talk to you about it. Now, whose money is it? Who put the money in there? You did. But don't they want to talk to you about getting your own money out? Don't they say, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. What do you really need that for? Oh, there's a federal statute on the books that says anytime $5,000 or more comes into or out of any bank across the country, the federal government is notified. It's notified. From jump, they are notified. They are notified. So don't think because you got $5,000 you put in the bank, it's just you knowing that. The federal government knows it the day it said 5000 on your checkbook. They knew it. Now you ask yourself why? Whose money is it? Whose money is it? You say you use it, but who does it really belong to? Belongs to them. Whose picture's on there?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sister.
Supposing that you had that amount of money, but you didn't want the government to know about it, would it be wise to put in a safe deposit box?
It is against the law to put cash in a safe deposit box. That's right. You didn't know that either? It is against the law.
Well, how will they not?
They go in your safe deposit.
Well, see, let's just do this. If something happens to you and they have to go in your box and they find it, the federal government will take all that money out because you are not. That is undeclared income for that year. That is against the tax laws.
Well, that's total control.
That's total control.
Well, what if nothing happened to you?
That's where you might get away with it.
Oh, but there's that possibility.
There's that great possibility.
Because if they do go
because the bank examiner could always come in there and check all the boxes out. Anytime. It belongs to the bank. Whose property is it? It's the bank's property. You renting the box. Is that right? All right. The bank doesn't belong to you. You renting the box.
So if they go in and check it out, you know, for no good
they can take. They have to have a reason. Whose box is it? Wait a minute. If you own a house and someone's renting your house, can't you always go in there? If anything, you can make up some little flimsy reason to go in there. I saw the lights on at midnight. Wanted to see what was happening. Is that right? Whose house is it? All right. It's their bank, their box. You're renting the use of the bank, of the box, but you cannot use it improperly. Who determines what is improperly? Yeah, the bank does. The government. It's their money. You have to remember that. Your picture's not on there. All right? Savings and deposits. Again, we're treated like what? Chumps, tricks, and fools. They tell us how much money they're going to give us. Is that right? They charge the interest rate. You can say, well, you can use, wait a minute. When you put your money in the bank, does it just sit there in the vault? They use it. Now, suppose you bought a house through Bank of America. All right? You bought the house and you put $6,000 in the bank. And you went to the president and said, look, I need to borrow $20,000 and I live on 113th and Wilmington. You said, well, I want to borrow some money now to fix my house or add addition to it. He looked in this little chart and said, oh, I'm sorry. We can't loan you any money. But now the money, that $5,000 you put in the bank, they're using your money, aren't they? They loan to people, other people don't they? Suppose a Klan dude came up there and said, I need $20,000 to increase my weapon load. And I live out in Anaheim. Is that all you need? Is that all you need? Don't you want a little more? They determine. They determine. Savings and deposits. What can you get again? At home, right? Same old trinkets and junk. What about the... You can get a car from the bank, can't you? And then one of the things you say, automobile loan. We love automobiles. We love automobiles. We program one another for our... It's a sharp 6 average. Strong brother. He walks up to a young lady and begins to talk to her on campus. And within 10 minutes, the conversation gets around to, can you take me home? Can you pick me up tonight, take me to the movies?
That's right.
I.e., do you have a car? You do not have a car? Oh, well, that's nice. And I will see you later.
That's what they do.
It's programmed for
right.
cars. Is that right? Can I get an amen from the brothers on that?
Yes, sir.
I thought I could.
I can bear you witness.
All right.
All my life.
We program each other for cars. I mean, you can see, just watch black folks, especially black women sitting on the corner waiting for the bus. If a car passed by and says it's a Volkswagen, maybe nice and a clean Volkswagen, she'll just go, But let an LD pass by. Who's that? No, I could give a hoot who is in the car. It's an LD. And if it's a Rose, she might put her thumb out. It's a rose. What does that say? It says money. It don't say about morality. It say money. It say I can get a ride. I get prestige from riding in some junk. Now see, as much as we love automobiles, that's all right. But do automobiles love us? Does Ford, GM, Chrysler, VW love us?
No, sir. No.
When they laid off 23,000 workers from Chrysler last week, who do you think 80% of the people were?
Black folks. Us.
It was us. But let's even go back to the product we buying. Let's look at it from two angles. That product called an automobile.
Pile of junk.
Don't they call them back, brother?
No.
No. Do they call? Wait a minute. Don't you know they call them back? Don't they, brother? They might have called yours back. Hey, you know they call it back 79s and 80s. A brand new ride. Do they call yours back, brother? What do they call it back for? Wait, what do they call it back for?
Front wheel bearing.
Woo! The front wheel bearing. You know what that can cause? Overheating and your whole wheel can fall off. Is that right? Remember they told you in the letter? They said, we're sorry, sir, but your brand new Buick has a front wheel bearing going wrong in it. So will you please send it back to us? We know they buy. What you buy, brother? You bought it? Okay, a Chevy. All right. I mean, you have to look at that. The brakes could go out. Wait a minute, we ain't talking about no lollipop that there wasn't enough chocolate on. We're talking about something that you putting your life and your baby's lives in. 55 and 60 miles an hour. And what did they say? We made a mistake. You know what they saying? Suppose I sell you a watch and you get it home and all of a sudden you stop. You jawed, right? Now you ain't spending $50 for the watch, right? But you jawed. You said, "That sold me this jive. Where you at? You ready to come jive? You ready to come get me, ain't you?" But when General Motors said you were called with the bearings gone, you said, "Oh, well, at least they did call it back."
Yeah. It's all
at least
right.
they did come get it.
Yeah, that's all right.
I hope they do fix it.
Yeah.
Now you didn't even know the bearings was bad, did you? Huh? They tell you they have 55,000 accidents on the highways every year. You don't know that 30% of those highway accidents are caused by the cars, the wheels falling off. Huh?
Gearbox jam.
Thank you. Transmission fell out on the highway. Just boom. Got to be serious.
My alternator went out.
Well, I can tell you by experience, I used to work on all different makes of cars. And the cars of the 60s, the 64 Chevrolets on back, those were your better built automobiles. I'll give you one example, the 1964 Chevrolet Impala. Remember those things? They are well built cars.
Well, see, I'm going to give you the best built car in the world.
Yes, sir.
The best built car. It was built in 1939 through 1943.
All right.
It rode across France. It rode across Germany. It rode across Italy, up and down the mountains.
Jeep.
You saw them on TV. There'd be an explosion and the car would turn over in the air. They'd turn it back over, dust it off, jump in it, start it, and keep moving. It was called a Jeep.
Yes,
they are still running those very same Jeeps in the Philippines today. Well, what's the play? Ain't get no play in no Jeep, my brother.
They're fashionable now.
Oh yeah, now wait a minute, a white girl pulled up one of them commercial, didn't she?
Didn't it?
It was a white Jeep, wasn't it? It was a white girl pulled up in a white Jeep, and now you say Jeeps is cool.
Jeeps is cool now, yeah.
Now that the white girl pulled up in a white Jeep, I mean, pretty soon buses will be cool. They'll have a white girl driving a bus. Is that right, brother? Will buses be cool then? They'll paint the bus black and gold, and the bus will be cool.
And low ride.
They'll be low riding on the buses. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot to deal with the other part of the car. Cars cost a lot of money, don't they?
Sure do.
I mean, that's the second biggest investment you're going to make in your life.
Pile of junk. These are the
Wait a minute.
problems.
I mean, a Volkswagen costs $11,000. A Volkswagen?
That's right.
Huh? Well, wait a minute. We don't go to a joke. Let's go with just the average mid-size. 8,000. 20% down at 1,600. You say, well, that's normal. It's all right. But the problem is, though, how much did it cost them to make it?
A whole lot.
What did it cost?
Master craftsmanship.
Thank you. What did it cost Volkswagen, Rolls-Royce, Cadillac to make their cars?
I've been wondering about that, brother. Why don't you enlighten us?
Let's ask GM, what is your cost per unit? They will tell you, $400 tops.
And that's a lot.
And that's a lot. But that's tops.
Cost of an overhaul.
That's it. Period. I'm quoting GM. Now, they lying, then I'm lying. All right? And I believe they probably lying. I believe probably number 150.
Cost of an overhaul.
I mean, wait a minute. How much do they pay the brothers on the line? $7, $8 an hour? Yeah. And they got how many brothers on the line? They got a whole lot of brothers and sisters on the line, don't they? Now, when have you ever known the employee to make more than the employer?
Never.
You can't stay in business. How is it that Ford is still in business if their car sales have dropped dramatically this year? But you know that they got the money. They don't worry about you not paying it. When you paid your down payment, you paid for the car. You paid for the car, the dealer's car, his wife's car, and was working on his son's car. And you made your $175 a month payment that you missed 3 months in a row. They wasn't worried about it. They made a movie about how they wasn't worried about it. It's called Gone in 60 Seconds. Isn't that right? Well, then come get your car in 60 seconds flat. Now they tell you, wait a minute, they have a locking device on the steering wheel. You can't get my car. But they didn't tell you that the lock is only dependent on one little small piece of plastic. That's all. Ask anybody in the auto business, they'll tell you this. A small piece of plastic locks the steering device. You can pop that and start the car. No big thing. You know brothers who had to hide their cars in Pasadena, the Altadena.
Hey, that's where I live.
That's right, they got to hide them rides. Somehow or another they got fired off the gig for being insubordinate or late too many times. You know? They got to hide them rides now. I'm telling you, we don't have any cars. We have devices that white folks have programmed us to get. You remember every year they tell us to get a new car, right? Mm-hmm. Now, anybody that's a mechanic will tell you cars are built all wrong. They're built for women. Cars are built for women, not for men. They're not built for you to work on. How come they couldn't build everything up? So you could just open up the hood and go to work on it. You got to get down up under it. Car may drop on your head. They could build everything up. You know they could. If they build it down, they could build it up. Ain't no big thing about that. They build cars for women so all the pretty stuff will look good on the top. That's what we're talking about, who we're dealing with. The next most dangerous thing up here, and I think it's the most dangerous, that we buy and we buy, is TV. Now wait a minute.
But that's a basic necessity.
Wait a minute, brother. I'm going to show how cold it is. I said we love cars, right?
Yep, we love.
Wait a minute. I said we adore television. We worship TV. We pay homage to the tube. I mean, the tube can wake you up. You said the Magic was on 12:30 today, wasn't he? Kareem was on. We woke up at 11:59 to catch the pregame show.
Do we love
that right?
TV?
We love TV.
Oh.
Wait a minute. You leave this top here this evening, and you running home. You trying to get into the house because you got to use the restroom, and you just wiggling at the door, and you finally get in, and you go click, then you go to the restroom, don't you? That the truth? You put the TV on first? Huh? Now wait a minute. You had a bodily thing trying to get you into the restroom. But your mind said, wait a minute, you must pay homage to the TV first. That's like going to the church and crossing yourself. That's like automatic. You got to turn the TV on. You love TV. I know a sister was ready to move. I'm the manager of an apartment building. She tried to move in. She said, brother, I need a place. I said, well, sister, I'm packed. She said, brother, you got to find me someplace. I said, well, what kind of furniture she got? You know, maybe I can try to squeeze you in somewhere. She said, well, all I got is a table and a TV. It had no bed. Huh? No sleeping bag, but she had a TV, didn't she? I said, you got a TV, sister? She said, I got a TV. I said, oh, okay. Now, see, that wouldn't be so bad. As much as we love TV, it wouldn't be so bad if TV loved us.
It does.
Does TV love us?
Yes.
I mean, does TV teach us that we are the original people on the planet?
Roots.
That there was no... roots. Say, brother. I'm glad you brought. Who said roots? Please raise your hand. Who said roots? I mean, you know, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have skipped over it. See, Jews control TV so strong. They see, now think about this. When they showed the Holocaust, that's their thing, right? The Holocaust. All the Holocausts, all the other Holocausts are measured by that one. They lost a little old 6 million Jews, you know, a puny number. When you compare it to 100 million lost in the Atlantic slave trade. Wait a minute now. In the Holocaust, they showed at the very beginning, they showed a Jew, man, a German, didn't it? Then the thing came down, right? Did they come back with episode 2 and show some Jews marrying some Germans later on? No. When it came down, all the Jews was over here and all the Germans was over there. Wasn't no matter being married to no enemies. But what about in Roots? See, they forgot to tell you what LeVar told me at USC one day. He said he got sick to his stomach playing the role, the first part on the ship. He said that he got cramps and pains and nightmares on the ship. He said he was just there for 7-8 hours a day laying in that hole. I said, what about the sisters and brothers who came across for 3 and 4 weeks? The sisters having to lay in their own menstrual cycle. The men and brothers and mothers had to lay in their own feces. Could not move. Wasn't no getting up and going and getting no air on the sun deck. None of that. What about them? No light. But you know, African people are the cleanest people on the planet. Black women bathe their children 3 and 4 times a day. How does it feel to be a black woman and not be able to get any soap and water? No, they didn't show that on TV. See, what little they did show, they messed with. They messed with. I talked to the brother who was on the set when they shot it. Do you remember the scene when he was on the ship? And he said, Kunta Kinte, you must eat and grow strong so we can go back to Mother Africa. That ain't what he said. You didn't hear that. You heard, so we can go back to our village. Now why did the white director jump out there and say, wait a minute, cut. That's not in the script. Don't be ad-libbing, nigga. The brother was on the set when it was shot. He said, no. You came from a village. You don't know about Africa. Can you see the impact I might have had on some minds? Mother Africa versus a small little village. We have to understand the realities. They manipulated. When has your enemy ever become your friend? After all that the Kente clan had went through, one of them turned around and married the enemy. The enemy. And even after he did it, was the enemy welcome? Sure, we welcomed him. But his own people said, what? He's a traitor. And he a nigger now. What does that say to us? TV. Before I leave here, I'll make one more point on TV, because we do love it so. At the end of every day, for those of us who have stayed up that late, doesn't it say we have now ended a day of programming? Doesn't that say? Now, you thought they meant Mork and Mindy. Huh? The Big Show. No, they meant they were doing just what they said. They were programming minds. Now, just to give you a complete example of that. Right now, the biggest craze on television is science fiction. And in every single science fiction thing that you're going to see simulations of lasers. Laser beams here and laser beams there and laser guns here. You sit at home saying, ooh, them lasers is bad. Need me a laser gun. But you see, that is the reality of lasers for the slave. Let us deal with realities for the slave master. Jet magazine, and this came out in 1978, July the 21st. It said it wasn't until several days later that Mrs. Cleant learned that she had been involuntarily sterilized, apparently with an experimental laser beam procedure. Now that's the reality for the slave master. Those very same lasers that we look at and say, that's bad on TV. This is what the master uses them for.
They said thoroughly tested laser beam?
Oh no, they said experimental, brother. They was testing it on her. So much for television. Oh, by the way, you know that there's 1.3 in every home. Every home. One of them's a color. About $75. Now see, that cost has gone up over the last 5 years because they have to transport the parts back from Japan and back from Taiwan. See, none of those parts are put together here anymore. Everything is done overseas and then shipped back. So the shipping costs have drove the price up. But see, you forget advertising costs, chassis costs, you know, all those costs got to be included in there. Plus everybody's markup. See, you know, like the wholesaler will get it, the cost him $850. So he has a charge $1,100 or $1,175. Then when he finally gets to Sears, it's then $1,375 to $1,500 because of the markups all along the line. See, so the ripoff comes on us all the time, and they know that no TV now. You notice Zenith no more says the quality goes in before the name goes on. They dropped that. They don't advertise that no more. They quit that ad because they know they're lying. Well, they know don't mean no difference. They say, hey, you're going to buy it anyway. You're going to buy it. That's it. As long as it come on. It's just a little bit.
It's the sign.
Banks, again, gross profit 5 to 100%. Cost overhead 10 to 30%. Powerful and rich industrial corporations. Powerful right here. This is RCA. This is IT&T. This is LinkedIn Covant. That's who this is. What is it? What do they get from us? Profits. Profits for everything they sell, don't they? Whatever they sell, we'll buy it, right? White folks got slick with us. We thought we was being militant and black. They said Cougar Ran. And even though Jesse Jackson said, no, don't buy the Cougar Ran. So we stood and said, yeah, I ain't buying that. Shoot, I ain't buying no Cougar Ran. Right on, blood. But see, then white folks said, well, the niggas won't buy no Cougar Ran. They'll buy a gold necklace. They'll buy a gold bracelet. Now, where did gold come from? Same place, just different form.
Mine came from downtown LA.
Downtown LA, right? Jew boy sold it to you. Yeah. That's the Jewish connection. You heard the French connection? That's the Jew connection. It went from South Africa to Israel, from Israel to downtown LA. That's okay now. That's it. Same old, same old. Now what they say here, what can you get from all them profits they make? They'll give you a small, gilded educational grant. Now the key word you notice, I said small, but then I emphasized gilded. For those of us who lived on farms, they'll tell you that gilding, when you gild a horse, you cut off the idea that makes it be able to produce. For those of us who have little birds at home, you have a cage and you can sometimes call it gilded. Both of them destroy that which is inside. Now that gilded educational grant, it's easy to understand that. You got somebody that's in high school, carrying a 3.7 average or 2.9 average, it shows a lot of promise. But they come out of high school, can't get a job. Like can't get a scholarship to go to the university. They want to be a chemical engineer. So they go to work for RCA, they raise the money, they send themselves to school later. But while they're there, they begin to influence the corporation because they see little innovative ways to improve. They improve, they have a little suggestion box. And we dropping suggestions in all the time. So he or she begins to drop suggestions in and sees them improving. I mean, let's look at who built America. Who came up with the stoplight? That's right. The brother did that. If you have an accident in your home and you get knocked out by the fumes, they're going to use a gas mask to come get you, invented by a brother. If they get you to the hospital too late and you've already gone into cardiac arrest or fibrillation as they call it on Quincy, and your heart begins to flutter at the wrong pace, they will have open heart surgery. The first one done by who? A brother. Let's understand, if they have to give you a transfusion from blood plasma, who did that? Let's understand, necessity is the mother of invention. Who you know has had the biggest necessity on their backs? It's us. The white boy's sitting under a tree, sipping some mint julep. Who do you think came up with the Reaper? It wasn't Cyrus McCoy. It was the brother who was working with who didn't get no credit. When you go home, the first thing you do, if it's dark, you turn on the lights, don't you? You say, well, hey, this light, this white boy came up with that. They forget to tell you about Henry Latimer. All Edison came up with was the housing. They don't provide no light. The light comes from the filament. It's done by the brother. We forget all those kinds of things. So the same brother now, it's the same brother, the same gene pool, is working on the line for RCA. He says, I see this we could do better. I see that we could do better. He innovates. So they said, wait a minute, who is this man? Bring him up to the front office. They bring old Charlie up. Charlie, sit down. We understand you've been doing a good job for us for the last 4 years. What are you really interested in doing? What are your ambitions in life? Well, I'd like to go to college to get a degree in Kimberlin. You would like to go to what school? USC? Change the contract, Marge. Read it, USC. They already knew what he wanted. He put it down on his application. They just wanted to see if he still wanted that. They drew up a contract for him. He said, look, we'll sponsor you for all 4 years through USC to become a chemical engineer. No problem. His eyes jumped out of his head. He said, what? I'll finally get to be what I want to be? So he signed the contract, snatched the check, and ran to SC and registered. But while he was there, he ran into some strong brothers. He ran into some strong sisters. They began to inform him of some things that were real. He began to change his ways. He didn't want to come back to RCA anymore. He didn't want to go back to Linton Covant anymore. He wanted to do something for himself and his people. So when he graduated with his degree in chemical engineering, he didn't bother to put on the cap and gown. He just walked across the stage, snatched his thing out and said, Harambe brothers, and sat down. What? This brother's changed all over. Using Swahili, talking about come together in unity. But he forgot that he had signed a contract.
That's right.
To go there. He forgot that they had made him sign his life away. So while he was sitting at home one day plotting and planning, came to the door. So he, like a good brother would, went to the window and looked to see who was at the door. Naturally, he saw it was the same Peckerwood who had him to sign the contract. Said, Charlie, can I come in? So what you want, Peckerwood? I said, wait a minute, Charlie, let's not go this way. Let me come in and converse. I don't want to stand in the hallway. So the brother said, well, okay, I'll relent. What do you want? We'll talk in the hallway. You can't come in my house. He says, wait a minute, we were expecting you back on the job a couple of weeks ago. You graduated in June, it's now September. Well, what happened to you? He says, I ain't coming back to work there no more. Wait a minute, we can't have, did you forget? And he pulls out his copy of the contract. He says, don't you see your signature here? You have to come back. Now, boy, get back on the line, fool, or we will throw you in jail, chump. Did he back on the line? Who do you think invented napalm? That's right. Who invented the camera they used on the moon? You said that's some heavy technology. That's right. That was a brother. That was a brother. It was in the LA Times. Did you understand that? Oh yeah, he got one article in the LA Times. Oh no, on the back business page. You know, behind the sports page. The one we don't read. Let's understand the realities. So what's this brother gonna do now? What's this brother gonna do? He's going back on the line. Now you say that sounds like slavery. Of course it's slavery. It ain't changed. It's the same old, isn't it? Only thing that's different now is that you got to find your own plantation. You can see brother out in the field working hard, still working in the field hard. They say, well, master, I see we got to get kind of low on the money. You got to sell some of them niggas out there. Yeah, Charlie, got to sell some of them niggas. Bring about 8 of them in. Load them up in the wagon, took them down to St. Louis to the slave auction block. And sold them off. Don't they do that today? No. Only thing is now you got to find your own plantation. That's all. Same mechanism. The brother or sister was up on the block. Said, open your mouth. Turn around. Bend over. Let me see your back. Let me see all this. It's a healthy looking thing. Yeah, we'll take this one. You say, well, they don't do that no more. I say, brother, you work for the bus company? Did you have to take a physical exam? Before they can so-called insure you, right? Did they look in your mouth? Make you bend over, make you jump on one foot. Is that right? Say, let me see your eyes. What kind of vision you got? They said, look, fill out this resume, or fill out this application for this job. Give us your driver license, social security number. That's the first thing they ask for, right? They don't need nothing else, really. All they gotta do is plug that in the computer, and it'll pop out whatever you've done. If it pops out clean, well, get this nigga the job. But if it pops out insubordinate nigga, late nigga, talk back nigga, don't do the work nigga, organize other niggas, what is this? Can't hire this nigga on the job. Well, how do you know in the old days? Simple. They said, turn around, nigga, let us see your back. Take that shirt off. You got some whips on that back? That means he was a bad nigga, right? Because they was always whipping him. Now they say, let us see your police record. Got whips all over this. Nigga was arrested in 1965 during the Watts Rebellion, arrested in Newark during the Newark. They said, this nigga was arrested all over the country for rebellion. What's this nigga doing? No, we don't want this nigga.
Yeah, work for us.
Now, that was only 2 examples. There's one more to show you now that we've become part of the enslavement. There was a job on the plantation that none of us wanted. That was the overseer. Everybody hated the overseer. The babies hated it. Grandma hated it. Because everybody felt his lash. The overseer was the most dreaded, most hateful dog on the planet. Because he usually was one of us who didn't care about us anymore. That was the overseer. Now you say, well, he's still hated. I say, no, he's not. I say, we all want to be the overseer. Only now they changed the word. Instead of calling the overseer, don't we all want to take the test to be the supervisor? Same word, isn't it? Super means over and above. Visor means seer. Same word, isn't it? We all want to be the supervisor. Well, see, the problem you have to look at is that not so much the job, but we have to look at the whole idea of a job. Is any job working for your enemy a good job? Any job that helps enslave your people, is that a good job? Huh? We got to look at the reality. No job working for the enemy. If you ever found an ant working for the ant eater, he wouldn't working there very long, would it? Any chickens working for the chicken hawk would soon become dinner, wouldn't it? Let's understand the realities. No job working for your enemy is a good job. Last thing on here is general furnishings. I wouldn't really go into that too much. Just to say quickly, when they make white folks furniture, they go into the forest, they cut down a tree, don't they? They put it up in the logs, they put it together, and there's Mr. Jones' desk. When they get ready to make your furniture and my furniture, they say, wait a minute, there ain't no more trees left, but you know what? There was a whole lot of sawdust back there we could have used for the niggas. So all they do, they go back there, they pick it up, put it in a little lathe, pour some glue in it, press it down, let it dry, put a veneer on top of it so it looks like Mr. Jones' desk, and they sell it to us. And they say, big sale, nigga, big sale, 50% off for junk. Thank you. The junk. Banks again 5 to 100%, excuse me, in powerful industrial corporation 50 to 1,000%. 1,000% profit? How much does it cost to make a chocolate gorilla, brother?
Quite a bit.
About a half a cent? And how much will you pay for it? 15 cents? That's 1,000%, isn't it? Cost overhead 20 to 40%. We look down here, commercial loans, powerful industrial insurance corporations, state city bond issue monies. We see non-fractional. We come down to the same trinkets and junk when we reach my favorite here, the underworld monies. Small general loans up to $2,000 with high interest. That's a code where it says with high interest. That's a code for your life. That's your life. You don't pay one of them back here. You know, you got paid and you missed 3 days, right? And the mortgage is due on the pad, the car note is due, the quarterly insurance is due, and you about $100 short. I ain't counting food yet. You say, man, let me get this $500 from you. You're walking past the alley, getting in the pay, you say, you need $1,000? No problem. Come on, got 1,000 for you. He said, sure, go. I can go for it. How much I got to pay back? Oh, 7,500. Say, you must be. He said, well, hey, I'm the best deal in town you're going to get, bruh. Brother, man, come see me. Bro, cuz, blood. I'm going to give it to you. Ain't no problem. I'm just a businessman. Let's do some business. We'll deal with him later. Small general loans up to $2,000 with high interest. 50 to 5,000% gross profit average. 2 to 10% overhead. Oh, sure. You ready now? All right. Again, 50 to 5,000% gross profit average and 2 to 10% overhead. Wait a minute. That's cold. That's as desired, isn't it? Isn't that as desired? 5,000% interest? Isn't that as desired? Ain't that the same here? You say the underworld and the federal government are the same? Is that what you're implying, brother? I'm not implying it, I'm saying it. They are the same. Don't you know that the mafia and the federal government work hand in hand? What? That the KKK and the Democrats is the same people? And that what they said on TV the other night? The KKK and the Democrats is the same?
But I'm a Democrat.
Oh, you a KKK, brother. We gonna come get you, Ma. That's what they said. Ain't no problem. What they do? The KKK running in the Democratic Party in the 43rd District for Congress? Messler?
What state did Jimmy Carter come from?
Georgia Cracker, wasn't it? Now, where you know is the home of the Klan. Number 2 home. Number 1 home is Tennessee. What number 2? Georgia. They will lynch you faster in Georgia than they will in Mississippi.
Except for with a Georgia accent.
Thank you. We're dealing with the same people. But see, don't think when I say underworld that I'm talking about these amateurs here. The Gambinos and the Castellanos and the Dela Cruz and the Gallos. I ain't talking about no novices. I'm talking about the real underworld. The real underworld. Wait a minute, what's the real underworld? The real underworld. The real underworld is right down the street on Wilshire Boulevard. It's right downtown on Spring. Don't they have Bank of America down there? Huh? 18.5% prime interest. You ain't gonna pay 18.5%. When you walk in there, they saying 25 to 30.
Prime just for the main big.
That's for GM and Ford who can afford that. They pass it right along. See? We're talking about the crooks, like car insurance. Now that's a crook. Now wait a minute. Car insurance, LA is a loser. Now see, that's a misnomer. What they should have said was scratch. Niggas is a loser. Y'all think I'm exaggerating? Central Los Angeles, who's that? Who lives in Central LA? Huh? Jews live in Central LA? They work in Central LA.
Colored folks.
Okay. The colored folks. Chinese and Japanese.
Yes.
The adult rates, ages 30 to 64. Now how much do these brothers and sisters in Central LA pay? $350 to $680 a month. These are old figures. I'm sorry, this is back in when was this? Let me see if there's a date on here. Because this is too old. This is way low. I mean, that's like $800 a month now, isn't it? A year, isn't it? For car insurance, $900 and $1,000.
More than that.
What's supposed to say? More than that, huh?
How old you are.
And what your zip code is, huh? Now, wait a minute. What if you live in Anaheim and you work downtown? Now, if a brother lives right over here on Vernon and works downtown, he ain't going but 7-8 miles to work, isn't he? But if you live in Anaheim, that's 30 miles, one way. What is the Peckerwood in Anaheim paying? Then, $146 to $306. Now, let's think about that. The whole idea of auto insurance. White boys got together and said, let's go pass a law saying that yes, you can buy all the cars you want, but if you don't have auto insurance, you can't drive. Is that the law? Huh? Now, is that heavyweight? Is that heavyweight underworld? That's heavyweight, isn't it? I mean, Al Capone couldn't pass that extortion, could he? Huh? That's for real. That's the real underworld. Madison Avenue. Madison Avenue is known for advertising agencies, aren't they? Don't they sell you things? Don't they sell you everything that came out? Don't they sell you mistakes? They sold you a car, didn't they? All they did was put a white woman in it, and they sold it to you. Huh? Or they put a white boy in it, and they sold it to you. That's right. They know exactly what they got to do. They'll never tell you how long the engine's going to last, but tell you how pretty it is, don't they? They tell you about the real Corinthian leather and the fall apart engine. Huh? The sunroof and the messed up transmission.
Like that.
Huh? Let's deal with it.
Love it.
Huh. Well, that's us. That's the financial. That's where we come in at. Chumps, tricks, and fools.
That's right.
Wait a minute. You say, well, brother, what about the other two? Industries and market. Well, here's the industrial. Here's the industrial levels. There are three different phases. Manufacturers, distributors, and retail dealers. How many manufacturers do black people have? By last count, 1/1000%. Distributors, 1/100%. And retail dealers, 1/2%. Nothing less than nothing. You don't even look at that. That's all. Now see, the Vietnamese, if they were sitting here, would say, no. We do manufacture, we do distribute, and we are definitely retailers, aren't they? The Jews wouldn't even want to listen to that. They say, you must be crazy. Vietnamese don't make up 1/3%. Jews, as much as you think they are, there's only about 10 million in the whole world. You got almost 10 million niggas just on the West Coast that they ain't counted yet. Well, now let's look at these manufacturers, distributors, and retail dealers. All we want out of them is this, ain't it? Jobs. Don't we all want to work for the master? Then we do this right here. We march. Say, Master, please let us work for you. Master, just give us a job. We'll be happy, Master. Okay, Master, I know I've been bad. I've marched, but I ain't gonna march no more, Master. Just give me a job. In other words, what we're saying is a job will give us some freedom. Is that right? The question I have then, in 1555, when the first African slaves arrived on the good ship Jesus, didn't they have a job before they left the shore? Before they left the shores of Africa, the white boy said, I need 5 niggas here. The first 5 off the boat, they got a job. Right. Did any nigga on the plantation, was he unemployed?
No, sir.
Wasn't there 100% employment on the plantation?
No,
did the little niggas have a job?
Yes,
the
sir.
medium-sized niggas and the big niggas and the old niggas had a job, didn't they?
Yes, sir.
And the niggas on the way.
That's right. And the brother on the boat, he had a job designate, didn't he?
That's right.
Now, if jobs was going to free us, we should have been free in what? 1555. If jobs was going to free us, because we was all working for the master then, huh? Weren't we the happy-go-lucky slaves then for the master?
Make it plain.
Is that what they tell us in Roots? We was fiddling. Wasn't we fiddling?
Yes, sir.
We was fiddling and dancing for the master, wasn't we? We loved to hop over the broom for the master. Buck dancing for the master. You know what the word really means, don't you? When they say buck, they mean buck naked for the master.
Yes, sir.
That's what they're talking about when they say buck dance. We got to understand, it ain't changed. It's the same old, same old. Jobs. Now, what kind of jobs we after? Well, I'm an executive for Slits Bluing. They just hired a sister recently. I saw it in Jet. See, Jet got so cool. I mean, Johnson got so hip. See, Jet stands for Jet Black. Didn't know that, huh? See, he just cut off the... See, they was going to say Jet Black. But then they had to cut the black off and say, well, people ain't going to go for that. They just go for Jet. Anyway. Got to be hip with what Johnson's doing back there. He said, we off the jobs, aren't we? Now, wait a minute. What kind of jobs did we get? 1% executive, 10% bourgeois, and 89% labor. Now, let's break that down. That sister just got that job working for Slits. You know what her title is? She is the vice president in charge of minority affairs. The brother who works for IBM on Worship Boulevard is in charge of community relations. Huh? They only put us in jobs dealing with other niggas. They don't put them in no job dealing with anyone in there. What's this? Let a nigga have a position over white folks? That's dead. That's his job. When the federal government comes to inspect IBM, they walk through, don't they? And the first person they take them to see is the vice president in charge of what? Minority Affairs. We have an executive here. That's Leon Sullivan on the board of directors of GM. The only blood. You know Leon Sullivan. IOC down here on Santa Barbara. Occupational Industrial Center. That's Leon. He got a big name, ain't he? Leon one day was going to stand up. This is on public record in a board meeting and say something. The chairman of the board had his glasses down on his nose reading the financial statement. And he kind of peeped up because the room got quiet. He looked down at the end of the table in the corner was Leon. He said, Leon, what is it? Is something the matter? Is your seat uncomfortable? He said, I go to the bathroom. He said, you want to say, Leon, this is a board meeting. Please sit down. He said, this is a board meeting. This is business, boy. Sit down. Blood had to sit down. If you want to maintain his half a seat on the board, 1% executive, 10% bourgeois. Now that's the people you see that live in Fox Hills, that push paper all day long, make no decisions, have no powers of control. They push paper all day long.
All right.
They sign this and sign that and push it to desk A to desk B. You know when you go into office and say, well look, I have problems with my insurance. And the sister steps up there. She says, well yes, I'm the head of this office. Can I help you? She said, well look, I need my money. Well go down the hall and see such and such. You know, I know no decision to give you no money.
That's right.
Huh? That's pushing paper. No power. So well, it has to be okayed by the chief of in charge. He's next door. Be serious. We don't have no job. We're still slaves. What about this last right here? 89% labor. Now see, that's the brother that you see out in the back, toting. He's loading the truck up. Huh? For Nabisco. That's his job, to load the truck. Or he's the one driving the bus. Or fixing the bus. Huh? He don't own no bus. We come down here to distributors, 5% executive, 15% bourgeois, 80% labor. Someone's getting a little better. Come to the bottom, 20% executive, 20% bourgeois, 60%. You say, that's our way. Retail dealerships. Wait a minute. I'm not talking about Sears. This is not J.C. Penney. Huh? This is not J.J. Newberry's. This is the mom and pop Q joint, half-fried place, corner grocery store. That's who this is. Mom and, wait a minute, the executive part of that. Who takes care of the books in a mom and pop, half-fried place? Mom and pop, don't they? Who's the one that stocks the shelves and orders all the stuff? Mom and pop, don't they? And who cleans up at night? Mom and pop, don't they? They wearing all the same hats. Don't be fooled by this. Let's leave here and come over here for a second. What do they all do when they get their money? All of them. They do this, don't they? And then they do this, don't they? And they do that, right? What about when they get tired of doing that? What they got to do then? They do it all over again, don't they? They start buying some more. That's right. If you don't make them, you got to buy. Let's look at this. Black people's consumer market. A, 100% open market. What does that mean? That means that anybody who's got anything to sell will sell it to us. Is that right? We bought everything they sell. We bought mistakes and knew they was mistakes. They told us that one day they was in a factory, they was making water hoses, and somebody let too much of one chemical in, not enough of another, and it crystallized. So they chopped them up in the sections, made them real round, put them together, and they sold them to us, didn't they? Ain't this it? This is a water hose, it's crystallized. It is called a hula hoop. I mean, look at this nigga. He's hula hooping all the way from his chin down to his knees. This is the hula hoop champ of the world.
Is he sponsored by the hula hoop company?
You better believe it. Went on Dinah Shaw's show, the hula hoop. Yeah, please, niggas, wait a minute. And y'all say, well, that's not too bad because we play with that. Wait a minute. I said we buy everything, don't they? We're 100% open mark. Everybody knows us. Didn't we? You got brothers and sisters living on the east side, right? They go to Jeff and maybe Manuel. And who else is over there? Jordan. Okay. Now, we don't talk about them because they got too much smarts. We'll come over to the west side, to the cool upper crust, the so-called super educated of our people, the BAs and MAs and PhDs. Yeah, thank you, BS. And let's look where they live, in Fox Hills, don't they? Now you say, well, they would be the educated consumers. They would pick and choose what they buy. They wouldn't waste their money. I say you mustn't go over to the Broadway in Fox Hills and watch them buy at $5 a whack pet rocks. A pet rock. Now let's go to a brother on Central Avenue. Brother, we have a pet rock here. Would you? He'll look at me like that. He'll take the rock and chase me up the area, won't he? Throw it at you. He said, nigga, look on the other side of Weston somewhere, Crenshaw. Spend no $5 on no rock, not found on the street. Huh? Just cause you washed it, that don't mean nothing. I can wash my own rocks. Huh? Let's be serious. He said, it's got to be crazy. But the upper crust stood in line. We were polite for a pet rock. They named it Irving. I mean, not at 50 cents, not at $1, but at $5.30. Got to pay the tax, right? Huh? You can put some gas in your car for $5. At least a gallon.
It's at least a gallon.
At least a gallon, huh? Let's be serious. That's us. Everybody knows us. Wait a minute. Don't we have Vietnamese selling to us, don't we? Japanese, right? Chinese, Jews, huh? Freaks. Everybody sells us, don't they? Oh, wait a minute. Now, I'll tell you how cool it gets. We can get so cool. We'll be sitting at home with our lady, right? And we'll say, well, baby, what you feel like eating tonight? I'm going to take you out to dinner. She said, oh, let me think. Should I go to El Cholo's? No, I don't feel like Mexican food. Should I go to Los Coffier's? No, I don't feel like French. Should I go to Perino's? No, I don't feel like Italian. I mean, she's naming everybody else, ain't she? Should I go to Walfing's? Some Chinese? Huh? She go everywhere except to her own. She'll patronize. Wait a minute, let's deal with that. We go out there to all them, don't we? When was the last time you went to Murray's and found a Chinese dude sitting up there eating some pig foot? Huh? When was the last time you went to Soul City, Southtown, up in Hollywood, and found a Jew boy sitting up there eating some grits? So, oh yeah, he owns it, but he don't eat there. He owns it. Oh yeah, you believe that? He owns it. But he ain't gonna kill himself. I mean, you can go to some markets right down on Vernon Avenue of Vermont, and they will sell you some pork. But you ask him to taste it. He's like, he'll back up. He said, well, I'm Jewish. We're kosher. He won't eat it. Yes. We 100% open market. That's right. They said, look at them niggas. This is week-old meat. Oh, your niggas will buy it. Send it down there. Huh? They'll buy it. Niggas don't care. That's what they say.
They made us.